Whoever you are, you've got to help me. I know what this looks like, but I can assure you, I have committed no crime.
Son, why are you here?
The local constable is apparently 2 arrows shy of a quiver. The town was attacked by slavers, and he's accused me of being involved. I am a Knight of the Flame for Mara's sake, sent here to help secure the village.
She's a knight of the flame.
Just that I arrived in town right before the attack. It's absurd! Nerves are on edge at the castle, so I was sent to help protect the village. A messenger should have arrived ahead of me, but Constable Pascal says he never received the message. I'm glad you came along. The constable's down by the docks. If he won't listen to reason, try to find the messenger from Alcaire Castle. He can explain everything. If you can get me released, the Knights of the Flame will be in your debt. I can't imagine who would do such a thing. If that is the case, though, someone needs to send word to the Knights of the Flame at Alcaire Castle. The Knights of the Flame are sworn to defend Stormhaven from any who would do harm to the Bretons. But our primary duty is to protect the royal family. High King Emmerich, of course, and his brother, Duke Nathaniel, at Alcaire Castle to the north. Indeed, all kinds of rumors, spies at court, an attempt on the Duchess's life, an army of Red Guards with orders to storm the castle. Sir Hughes, the head of the Knights of the Flame, sent me here to make sure the village remains secure.
Gods! They killed them all! Those Daedric filth killed my entire patrol. Then they dragged me off and threw me into a nightmare. Vermina. They kept saying Vermina. High King Emmerich needs to know about this cult. With their nightmare magic, these Daedric madmen could plunge Stormhaven into chaos. But you, thank you for saving me. As soon as I recover, I'm going to Wayrest. I have to warn the king about these people. These supernal dreamers. I don't know, but it can't be good. They're up there calling on Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Nightmares, putting me to sleep and talking about summoning something. If it's what I saw in my dreams, it's something terrible. Without a doubt, I even heard King Emmerich's name. We need to warn him. We need to warn everyone. I told the village constable, but he's more worried about these slavers. He doesn't understand. These people worship Vermina.
Knight of the Flame and stole that armor.
No more than most men. She's the Daedric Prince of Nightmares and Evil Dreams. She's horrible, but some people actually worship her.
You're welcome to Coghlan Village, traveler, but you'll have to excuse me. No time for idle chat. The town's been attacked by slavers, and to make matters worse, they had help from people we would have expected to be on our side. Exactly. Everyone is all worked up because she's claiming to be a Knight of the Flame. I give her credit for a brilliant disguise, but I wasn't born yesterday. You didn't fall for her cockamamie story, did you? Again, a very convenient lie. There was a messenger from the castle here, but he didn't say anything to me. He was over there by the warehouse when the slavers attacked. Those fancy clothes made him a target. They took him captive. Well, I got the town guard organized fast and had the slavers in full retreat. The cowards. They barricaded themselves in the warehouse, though. We're just going to starve them out. If your messenger's not dead, they've got him down there. Be my guest. Just don't expect any help from the guard. The slavers are like rats, quick to scurry back into a hole. But they fight nasty when they're cornered. The Dunmer crept up from the south and attacked in the dark. They killed the watchguard, but not before he sounded the alarm. We reacted fast. I had an uneasy feeling, so we were on alert. Lost a few good men. The Dunmer lost more. It's possible, but we cornered most of the cowards and cut them down. The last dozen or so barricaded themselves in the warehouse. Current plan is to just starve them out. If your messenger's alive, though, they've got him in there.
It's about time. I assume the Duke sent you? I am his personal messenger, you know. Well, what are you waiting for? Untie me! I had a message for the constable. Not that it's any business of yours. Sir Hughes of the Knights of the Flame sent me with clear orders. The message is for the constable's ears only. No, please, I'll tell you. Not like it's a really important secret or anything. Sir Hughes just takes himself a little too seriously. The message was just that Dame Dabienne of the Knights of the Flame was coming to help with security. No, I never got the chance. I had to talk to my friend first. Well, I didn't have to, I suppose. Anyways, that's when the slavers attacked. Will you untie me now? I'll go talk to the constable right away.
Everyone stay back. No one's getting on or off that ship until further notice. Go back to your homes. You'll be much safer there.
What's the constable doing? I know people on that ship.
This young man is lucky to be alive, though I'm not sure he realizes it. He told me about the message from the castle. The whole thing just seems a little too convenient, though, doesn't it? I can't release Dame Dabienne. Not yet. My duty is to ensure the safety of this village, and my gut's telling me that she's part of the threat. Too many coincidences. If we can get the village secure, we can revisit the matter. Right now, I need to deal with this ship. The slavers are on board. The captain claims he's not with them, but I know the truth. He's asking me to send the town guard to help him clear the slavers from below decks. It's clearly some kind of trap, and we're not falling for it. He's not, but even if he was, it wouldn't be my problem. My duty is to the village, not his ship. Bottom line, he needs to turn his ship around and head back out to sea. If not, we'll just sink it right here. That'll solve his slaver problem. You do that. Soon as we can ensure the town's in no immediate danger, we can talk about releasing your friend from the stocks.
In all my years sailing these seas, I've never received such ill treatment in a friendly port. My men lie here bleeding on deck and we are refused aid. This man they call Constable is the son of a dog. Or did he change his mind? I'd sooner eat sand than do business with these Dunmer swine. I have explained this. Last night was dark. When I realized there was no beacon to mark the shore, I dropped anchor. The slavers came in longboats. They caught us unawares. It was a daring battle. The slavers outnumbered us 10 to 1, but we'd planned for this. We lured them below decks and sealed the hatch. Many men were lost, though. We here on deck are all that remain, and we need aid. Can you help us? Yes, of course. I would gladly give my ledger over, but unfortunately it is below decks. This is why I've asked the constable to assist us in eliminating these Dunmer dogs, but he has refused. I'm afraid we're at a stalemate in this respect. You are brave, perhaps even a little foolhardy, but I like you. Though I fear for your safety down there, I will not stand in your way. If you return with the ledger, I will be forever in your debt.
The captain still refuses to leave? All right, then we'll do this the hard way. I'll call together the rest of the guard. You have the ship's ledger? The captain said it was lost below decks. I'll have to study this, but I'll be honest, I'm extremely skeptical this will prove anything completely. No, I'm sorry, we just can't take that risk. I dreamed about all of this, you see. The slavers, the ship, the knight, they were all working together. Even the blacksmith. I've known her for years. Yes, Sabisa the blacksmith too. And I don't care how it sounds. Defending the village is the highest priority, and we need weapons for that. Sabisa is refusing to supply us. She's leaving me no option but to have her arrested. Actually, I'd prefer you didn't. I appreciated your objectivity at first, but I must admit I am beginning to question your intentions. I'd prefer if you simply left town. You don't know what you're talking about. Paranoid. If you saw what I saw, I dreamed about this. Every last detail. You think that was just a coincidence? No way.
If Constable Pascal sent you here with orders to open the forge, you can just turn around and head right back out the door. That man has no right to order me around, and I'm not about to issue weapons for his witch hunt. Arrest me? That beef-witted bastard! To think I even cooked that man breakfast. What in oblivion's gotten into him? First he arrests a Knight of the Flame, and now me? We were friends for years, and then one night... Well, I guess you don't need the details. For a month or two, I thought we had something. Then he just broke it off. Wouldn't even let me in his house to talk. He acted like I had betrayed him. He did? He was having trouble sleeping. You know, I saw one of those weird cult members leaving his house. The Supernal Dreamers. You don't think that has anything to do with this? Don't know much about them, really. I think they're dedicated to some Daedric prince. They're crazy people. Someone saw a group of them in the hills to the north. And then there was that one who visited the constable. That's really all I know. Good idea. Perhaps there's some indication of why Pascal's behaving this way. He's just not himself. I'll talk to some of the other townspeople. I bet some of them have noticed his behavior as well.
Pascal's dreams are mine.
Turns out that almost everyone in town thinks Pascal's been acting strange, even the guards. Did you find anything that explains his behavior? Oh, my poor little Pascal. What a mess you've made. One thing's for sure. We need to put an end to all these wicked accusations he's been making. Indeed. As I said, even the town guards knew something was amiss. I told them to be ready. I suppose Pascal will probably have to be restrained. Oh well. Best thing for unpleasant work is just to get it over with. Let's go.
Wait, I thought the night was dangerous. Now it's... I'm all confused.
Oh, my aching neck. I haven't been this sore in years. Oh, but freedom sure does feel good. This situation was more dangerous than I realized. You went way beyond the call of duty here, friend. I can't adequately express my gratitude. Not as glad as I am, believe me. It seems I'll need to take over security here in the village, and with those slavers out there, I need to get busy. First, though, I'm gonna see if someone around here can give me a massage. The villagers may not realize it, but you saved this town from crumbling into chaos. I mentioned before that I came from Alcair Castle. The situation there is critical, and I think you might be able to make a difference. I could give you a list, to be sure, but my concerns are more general. There are rumors of assassins and spies in the castle, and as I was leaving, I heard something about a Red Guard army marching in that direction. Good question. We're all part of the Daggerfall Covenant, right? Maybe it was a false report. All the same, you should go. Talk to Messenger Courtier when you get there. I asked him to announce your coming to Duke Nathaniel.
Be on guard if you're headed up to the castle. King Faharajad's army is camped outside the walls. They claim they're here in a diplomatic capacity, but I'm not buying it. To attack the castle, isn't that obvious? This is the beginning of the end for the Covenant, mark my words. King Faharajad probably planned this all along. Thought that under the banner of peace, we'd just let his army march right in. Of course, I wasn't born yesterday. Neither was Dame Follett. She's our commanding officer outside the wall. You should talk to her up at the castle's main gate.
Damned foreigners. Nothing but trouble around here ever since the Duke married King Faharajad's daughter. And now there's a Red Guard army on our doorstep, expecting the Knights of the Flame to just stand aside? Envoy Darima marches up with an army claiming she's on a diplomatic mission from King Faharajad of Alakir. She says her message is for Duke Nathaniel alone and demands entry. All I have to say is, over my dead body. My mission is clear. No one from the Red Guard camp allowed in the castle. I'm a Knight of the Flame, and I will enforce that directive to my dying breath. Sir Hughes is the head of our order. If you have concerns, speak to him inside the castle.
Gall and pox! Dame Dabienne wanted me to tell the Duke you were coming here. You saved me back in Koglin village. I'm the messenger, the one in the warehouse. I'm sorry. I got back here and I had to tell my parents and my friends about the slaver attack down at the village. And then it just completely slipped my mind. Not much point in doing it now. I can't believe I forgot to announce you to the Duke. I really am sorry. I hope you can forgive me. Oh yeah! I forgot to deliver the message to the constable in Koglin village as well. That's actually kind of funny, isn't it? Unless... Are you frustrated with me? Oh, good. You had me worried there for a moment. Thanks for understanding. I'll see you around the castle, I'm sure.
You're welcome to Alcair Castle. I'm sure you noticed King Faharazad's army camped outside our walls, so you can understand why Duke Nathaniel is not entertaining guests. I should hope you're not here to add to our troubles. Don't hear that too often, but it's most welcome. If blood gets spilled here, it could destroy the fragile alliance holding together the Daggerfall Covenant. We need to defuse this situation as quickly as possible. Damn it. Dame Follett is holding the envoy up at the gate, isn't she? Never questioning orders is Follett's strength and her weakness. I'll have to send word to make an exception. Meantime, I actually have a task you'd be well suited for. It's a sensitive matter. We've intercepted secret messages to King Faharazad from someone inside the castle who goes by the alias of Almundine. My hope is that a little research in the library might reveal where this term comes from. Unfortunately, the Duke requires that he personally approve all visitors to the library, and he can't know about this. The library guard, Sir Gregory, perhaps you can persuade him to look the other way, or, failing that, to leave his post. Again, you must keep this quiet. The Duke is already overwhelmed, and hearing about a spy inside the castle might push him over the edge. Get past Sir Gregory and into the library. Find out who Almundine is, and report back to me personally. For better or worse, the Duke defers to me on the matter for now. Nathaniel shares King Emmerich's bloodline, but not his talent for calm under pressure. Of course, the Duke's wife being King Faharazad's daughter doesn't make matters easier. Indeed, Duchess Lakana is one of King Faharazad's youngest daughters. They say he was quite fond of her. She doesn't speak of her father much, but I think those ties run deeper than she lets on. I cannot defy the Duke's orders, not with an army at the gates. You can. One thing that might help, Sir Gregory is insanely jealous of his wife. In his mind, she would be the sheath to every knight's blade. You didn't hear it from me.
Hold it right there! This is Duke Nathaniel's personal library. No access without his express permission. If it's an emergency, you want the armory, not the library. It's just books in there. Honestly, I don't know why the Duke's so worried about it, but he is. If I let you in, I'd be kicked out of the castle. Probably my wife, too. Hey, that's not very nice! My face is nice, though, isn't it? I don't like being threatened, though. Of course, it's not like anyone would know if you went in there. All right. You can go in, but don't say a word to anyone about this, or I'll lose my job. Remember, not a word.
Sometimes a true knight must undertake a mission that requires reading books rather than slaying monsters. Such is what I asked of you. Did you learn anything in the library? I feared as much. We have to proceed carefully now. We don't want to alert the Duchess or King Faharazad to the fact that we know about the secret communications. I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to speak with the Duke about this. The fact that the Duchess is sending secret letters to her father is serious cause for concern. We need to know exactly what they're planning, though. After speaking with King Faharazad's envoy, Duchess Lakana asked to go out and negotiate with the Redguard General herself. Clearly, we can't allow that. But the Duchess is refusing to let the envoy leave to deliver her message. My thoughts exactly. and in so doing you would win her confidence. You already helped get the envoy through the gate, so Lakana will be inclined to trust you. Go speak with her upstairs. Do whatever you must to learn her plans.
Darima told me you spoke to Sir Hughes about Dame Follett. Thank you. You don't know what a relief it is to have her here. I am an outsider in Alcaire Castle, with no one I can fully trust. Sometimes I even wonder if I can trust the Duke. Because there have been several attempts made on my life, all from someone within these walls. An Alakir poison intended for my lips killed one of my tasters just a few days ago. There are many rivals for the throne in Alakir. They despise the Covenant, and they would kill me to destroy it. My father has been trying to identify the assassins. I must speak with General Thoda at the camp outside, but I am forbidden. Because Darima is the only one in the castle I can fully trust. I need her here, and I fear that if she leaves, they may not permit her to return. Can I trust you? You did intercede on our behalf with Sir Hughes. Very well. But General Thoda will not expect you. You will need to get his attention. It may be difficult, but if you could best some of his warriors, he will want to see you. Thank you. Things are truly desperate when a daughter of King Faharajad must rely on the generosity of a stranger. But I do believe in you. The future of the Covenant, and my life, depends on you. Rupka, go with you, friend.
Ha! Who is this little pipsqueak walking through our camp? Perhaps I turn you into a pincushion. As am I. Watch and see a true warrior in action.
Let us dance, then. Well fought.
You don't look so dangerous. Yet you waltz into my camp and pick fights with my soldiers. Tell me why I should not simply cut off your head where you stand. The princess, she is all right then. That is good. King Faharajad sent me to protect her, but there is little I can do from out here. I do not wish to start a war, but I will if my king orders it. I await new orders even now. Ah, yes, indeed. The poison maker was quite stubborn, but he spoke a name with his dying breath. It means nothing to me, though. He said, Follett. She is. Then she is in the castle. Go then, quickly. Tell Lakana so that she may be prepared for this wench assassin. I cannot go in, so you must protect her.
It is a relief to see you returned. I fear I might have asked too much. Tell me, though, did General Thoda have any new insights into the source of these assassination attempts? What? The Knights of the Flame are sworn to protect me. Why would one try to take my life? I know Dame Follett spoke out against my marriage to the Duke, but I can't imagine how that could motivate her to murder. I hope Dame Follett was acting alone in this. If there is a wider conspiracy, I fear for what that might mean for our future. No, this will not do. To run would be to surrender to this madwoman's hatred. Follett is the one who must pay. Though I don't always agree with him, Sir Hughes is a good man, and I trust him. Tell him of Follett's betrayal. He will see justice served. I can't believe my suspicions were so far from the truth. The assassin being a Breton only makes this situation more volatile. Please, tell Sir Hughes and ask him to resolve this matter swiftly. Because it has greater potential for destroying the Daggerfall Covenant. My choice to go to my father for help rather than the Knights of the Flame only made matters worse. I'm sorry for that now. Indeed, but perhaps it would have been better if Sir Hughes had uncovered that truth. No time for regrets, though. We will do this properly now. Let Sir Hughes handle it. It is what's best for the Covenant.
I trust you've earned the Duchess' confidence by now. That's good. Have you been able to learn why she was conspiring with her father? After the attempt on her life, that makes sense, but why go to her father? The Knights of the Flame are here to protect her. That makes no sense. Why would he send an army here? The assassin's poison came from Alakir. The Duchess said so herself. Dame Follett, are you certain? That's a grave accusation. Of course she was opposed to the marriage. We'll have to question her, but sending a Knight of the Flame to apprehend her might not be wise. I was hoping you might volunteer. That would help avoid a scene. Follett's home is north of the inn. If you'll go there first, I'll get some of my men and come as backup.
If this is what it's come down to, then so be it.
Where's Follett? Did she run? I'm sorry to hear that. You did what had to be done, and I suppose her reaction merely proves her guilt. I wish I could say there was no longer cause for concern. Somehow, though, I just don't think that's the case. Something about all this just isn't adding up. Indeed. I would very much like to discuss this with you further, but not inside the castle. My home is past the market. If you'll give me a moment to settle matters here and check on the Duchess, I'll meet you there and we can talk.
You! Did Sir Hughes send you to kill me? You're not here to... Oh, merciful Stendar! Lakana! No, she's not safe. Hughes is going to kill her. He's crazy. Something about his dreams. If you don't believe me, check his journal. He was writing all about it. First, though, untie me. I have to get back to the castle and warn Lakana.
She cannot be dead. This cannot be real. Lakana. You spoke with her, didn't you? What do you know of this? Tell me. Sir Hughes? Was he mad? He was supposed to protect her. How will I explain this to Lakana's father? To her sister? Lakana would never hurt anyone. She was innocent. My beloved wife. I don't understand. Sir Hughes served me for so many years. Loyally. Faithfully. Why would he murder my wife? Dreams? That maniac murdered my wife on the basis of a dream? He will die for this! You must help me find him. He's probably gone to Firebrand Keep. Please, do it for Lakana. Find Hughes and kill him. Sir Hughes will pay dearly for what he's done.
You're looking for Sir Hughes, aren't you? Get in line! We've been waiting for him to come and clarify our orders for days. He returned, all right, but mumbling incoherently. Know what that means? Just more confusion. I think Hughes has lost it. The Duchess is dead? Hughes killed her? Oh, for Mara's sake, I didn't think he was that crazy. I guess that explains why his orders were so confusing. Good thing we didn't march on the Red Guards at Alcair Castle. So, I guess if Sir Hughes killed the Duchess then, crazy or not, the Duke is gonna want him to answer for that. I guess this means we're gonna have to find a new leader. He went into the keep. Sir Croix might be protecting him, though. Finding Hughes may be difficult until we clear up all the confusion here. You should talk to Sir Edmund. He's just up the steps.
You've come to Firebrand Keep to petition for help from the Knights of the Flame. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Our leader, Sir Hughes, seems to have gone mad, and the Knights are divided over whether or not to follow his last order. This is far worse than I thought. and makes our cause all the more critical. Sir Hugh's just returned to the keep, acting strangely. He's in there with Sir Croy, who is making preparations to attack the Red Guards at Alcair Castle. Indeed. Myself and these others were exiled for standing against Sir Croy, but we are too few at present to retake the keep. There are other knights in the keep who are questioning Sir Croy. Could you go in and look for those who would join us?
I'm a Knight of the Flame. We're sworn to protect Alcair. You would have me disobey direct orders and turn against Sir Croy? You sound like that coward, Sir Edmund. You are an enemy to the Order, and I will see you slain.
If Sir Hughes really wants us to go to war, I prefer he told us himself. You're right. This doesn't make any sense at all. My duty is to do what's right, not to blindly follow orders. I'm with you.
I knew more of my fellow knights would come to see the insanity Sir Croy means to unleash at Alcair Castle. I think we have enough knights now to retake the keep. I've sent them to take up strategic positions. Indeed. Taking up arms against our fellow knights is something I know none of us wishes to do, but Sir Croy has forced this upon us. This is unpleasant business, but let's get on with it. I've told the knights positioned around the castle to attack on our signal. There's a siege horn mounted atop Firebrand Keep's main hall. If you are willing, I would ask you to go there and blow the horn. That will signal everyone to attack.
Well?
We caught them by surprise, and I think we have the upper hand. I've been wounded, though. I don't think I'd be of any more use in the battle. I've done what I could, but I failed to find Sir Croy. Now I fear he would best me quite easily. I need you to do this. I believe the other knights will stand down if we can defeat Sir Croy. Will you face him for me? He's in the eastern garrison. Kill him. Put an end to this. There's another siege horn on top of the garrison. When Croy is killed, blow that horn. The knights will pause, and I'll use that moment to call for an end to the fighting.
Set it ablaze!
At last. The outsider who rallies my knights to rebellion. I'm going to enjoy this.
I grieve for Sir Croy and all those who died fighting for him, but there was no other way to save the Knights of the Flame. Thank you for doing what I could not. Indeed. With Sir Croy slain, I am assuming command of Firebrand Keep for now. Needless to say, preparations to march to Alcair Castle have been called off. Killing my fellow knights to restore order was hard enough, but this matter with Sir Hughes is unthinkable. He's down in the infirmary. I'm told he was raving about killing the Duchess before he fell unconscious. I don't know what to do. Then I suppose you must. Whatever crimes he may be guilty of, you should know that Sir Hughes was always an honorable knight. I simply must believe that his recent actions are caused by some form of insanity. The infirmary is below the Great Hall. Speak to the healer there, Odette. Get her assessment of his condition. Again, I would plead with you, if his actions are truly driven by madness, show mercy.
If you are wounded, you may take a bed in the corner. I will tend to you as soon as I can. I'm sorry to say that Sir Hughes is in no condition to talk. I tried to help him, but this is simply beyond my ability to treat. It seems to be some type of curse. He came in mumbling to himself, and soon he was just gone. Duchess Lacana? He said he had killed her, but I assumed he was hallucinating. He's very ill. So, you are here to place him under arrest? Even if he is guilty of such a thing, he cannot answer for it if he is catatonic. He must remain here. I do not think you could cause his condition to be any worse, so you are welcome to do what you like. I warn you, though, curses like this are very unpredictable. If you start to feel dizzy, I would suggest stepping away.
The Duke should not have wed King Farazad's daughter.
The Duke's marriage was a mistake. He's put us all at risk.
King Farazad is planning to invade Alcair. Duchess Lacana is a spy.
Lacana has everyone fooled. She and her father are plotting against us.
Duchess Lacana is orchestrating an attack on Alcair. She must be stopped.
The Duchess has betrayed us. I have to stop her. Whatever it takes. I know what you are planning,
What are you doing here? Leave my room at once.
I won't allow Alcair to fall into Redguard hands.
Alcair in Redguard hands? Tears of Set. You've gone mad.
I'm sorry,
No,
but this
please!
is the only way. What have I done? I killed her. She deserved it, didn't she? I know she did, or I think I know. Is this real? No. It's a never-ending nightmare, whether I sleep or not. I killed Duchess Lacana. The omen whispered in my mind, poisoning my thoughts. Now it tortures me, forcing me to watch the murder again and again. The omen of fear, always with me, always whispering, telling me about the Redguards, about Lacana. I believed it, but it was lying. I murdered an innocent woman and betrayed the Duke. Now it's hiding, but it's not gone. We have to kill it. You have to kill it. My sword. In the dream, I left it in the throne room. The omen is drawn to it. Find the sword and find the omen.
I can see your fear.
You killed the Omen. May the Eight bless you. My mind is free, but my sins remain. Yes, I'm all right, but not absolved. I ordered the Knights of the Flame to rebellion. I murdered the Duchess. I betrayed the Duke. These stains on my honor cannot be washed away.
Sir Edmund sent for me, and I came as soon as I could. Sir Hughes does not plead for clemency, yet he says his mind was not his own. As strong as my anger may be, I sense truth in your words, and some change in Sir Hughes's character. But he murdered my wife, and for that I can find no forgiveness. He asked me to take his life and restore honor to the Knights of the Flame. But my emotions are too strong. I cannot trust myself to make the right decision. You were in his dream. You saw what drove him to murder. You must decide his fate. Very well. Thank you for your counsel.
Rise, old friend. You will not die this day.
Then my punishment is living in disgrace.
I cannot allow one who committed so grievous a crime to ever serve me again. Sir Hughes may live, but he will never stand in my court again. I hereby strip him of his knighthood. I exile him from Alcaire. He may never return, upon penalty of death. He faces a kinder fate than the one that befell my wife. Though the immediate danger is past, I fear this might be more than an isolated event. Sir Hughes driven mad by nightmares, and I've heard the constable in Coghlan village was similarly affected. We need to know more about this so-called omen. The spirit wardens of Pariah Abbey. They dabble in Daedric rituals, but they're benevolent. Speak to Brother Moron at the Abbey. Ask him if the appearance of this omen should be cause for wider concerns. If so, we should warn High King Emmerich.
I don't understand how this could be happening. We have no feud with the Midnight Union. Why would they suddenly come here and destroy the Abbey? It doesn't make any sense. Certainly! The bandits set everything on fire. The whole place is going up in smoke, and they're preventing us from putting the fires out. We weren't prepared to fight. If you'll help extinguish the flames, it would be a tremendous favor. Take this bucket. If you can get to the well and fill it. I don't know any other way. The larger fire may not be so easy. Just focus on the smaller fires first. I appreciate your assistance, but I would not want you to think of the spirit wardens as helpless. We are a capable lot, but to be attacked out of nowhere like this, and by the Midnight Union, we were just caught off guard. Smugglers mostly, and gamblers, even petty thieves. But they've never been ruffians before now. They almost killed Brother Roland. I thought I knew them. Why attack the Abbey? Why? I can see that many of the small fires have been extinguished. Thank you for volunteering to help us. Thanks for pitching in. I think we've saved enough crops to make it through the winter. But why did this happen? What's it all about? I hesitate to ask you for further assistance, but if you're willing, your help would certainly be appreciated. Our leader, Abbot Duroc, left some time ago and hasn't returned. I fear he may be injured, or worse. Abbot Duroc and a few others went to the Cave of Dreams on the North Ridge. Duroc wanted to get something to help put out the fires. Brother Hakam went after them with a scroll of return to help get them back sooner. Now I worry about Hakam too. Both, but look for Brother Hakam first. With the scroll of return, you can get Abbot Duroc back here sooner, where I hope he'll be able to put out that big fire.
Friend or foe, declare yourself. No one will harm the abbot. Not while I draw breath. And I have more terrible news. Those damned outlaws cast a sleeping spell on Abbot Duroc. I can't wake him. He came down here for this scroll of summoning, said it would stop the biggest fire. I just hope it's worth what it cost. As Europe praise his foresight, this will get us back to the Abbey. Duroc said this scroll of summoning should be read near the largest fire in the field. Please, take it and use it there. I'll meet you at the Abbey when you're done. An Atronach. Simply amazing. Duroc, you were right, my friend. You were right. He's still under a sleep spell. But I've learned something. The Midnight Union wanted us to panic. The attack, the fires, they were just a diversion. While we were distracted, they entered the Abbey and stole the Dream Shard. You must awaken Abbot Duroc. He'll know how to get the Dream Shard back. Talk to our healer, Frisweir. He's inside, tending to the Abbot. We can't create more dreamless potions without the Dream Shard. Without those potions, we, and the King, are vulnerable to the supernal dreamers. The Dream Shard is a priceless relic, a literal piece of Azura's realm of moon shadow. With it, we can distill water from the Cave of Dreams into dreamless potions. Without that shard, we can't make any more of them. We use them to protect ourselves from nightmare attacks by our enemies, the supernal dreamers. Since we don't dream, we're not vulnerable to dream magic. We also send them to the king and his counselors. Another reason we're tolerated here. Exactly. So you see how important it is to recover the Dream Shard. The safety of the realm is at stake.
Say, I heard you recently arrived from Alcair. There are terrible rumors about Duchess Lacana. Are they true? Was she murdered? I am sorry to hear about the Duchess. She was a good woman. The omen of fear, you say? I recollect hearing something about such Daedra before. You should ask Abbot Duroc. He would know.
You're the one who helped save our fields. Listen, I may have discovered the source of Duroc's affliction. It won't be easy. The spell enthralling the abbot traps him in sleep and forces him to dream. It's a clever spell, since the spirit wardens can't enter his dream. In fact, we can't dream at all. We drink dreamless potions nightly. That's why we're immune to dream attacks from our enemies, the supernal dreamers. As of now, you're the only person in Pariah Abbey who can dream. The only one who can save Duroc. We have another potion we rarely use, a Dream Stride potion. It'll put you into a dreaming sleep. Then I can merge your mind with Abbot Duroc's. You must find him in his dream, figure out what holds him there, and awaken him.
Ah, Duroc. You say we betrayed you, but the Spirit Wardens and the Midnight Union were never allies.
Indeed. We serve two very different mistresses. Our dream is your nightmare. Welcome to the new world, Abbot.
You're no dream spirit. You're real. Can you help me? Our allies have betrayed us. The Midnight Union are now enemies, and I failed to see it coming. I can't, my child. These chains bind me to my nightmare. However, it's still my dream, So I know one of the Midnight Union men outside carries the key to my chains. Slay them until you find it. Don't hesitate or fear. They're only dream spirits. In this dream state, only you and I are real. And I'm only really certain of myself. Did you find the key? Good. Once I've removed these chains, we'll awaken. Speak with me again in the waking world.
Without you, I'd still be trapped in that dream. Now we must work together to stop this threat to Stormhaven. You saw my dream. Clearly, Vermina's cult, the Supernal Dreamers, is behind this betrayal by the Midnight Union. The outlaws of the Union took the Dream Shard, but I fear it's for Vermina's evil purposes. We must recover it. I don't look forward to informing the king about this, but we must let him know as soon as possible. He will not be pleased. King Emmerich must be informed that without the Dream Shard, we won't be able to supply him the dreamless potions that protect him from the Supernal Dreamers. His Majesty might reward the one who brings him word of this. Would you do it? Seek out the king in Wayrest and give him the news. He must know as soon as possible. Then you need to find the Midnight Union. True, but not yet. The entire purpose of the attack on the Abbey was to acquire the Dream Shard, and its purpose is as a defense against the Supernal Dreamers. I do, which means those cultists are planning something. Something big. King Emmerich must be warned. That is the highest priority.
Ah, you've come from Pariah Abbey, haven't you? Don't worry about giving me the bad news. I'm already expecting the worst. Really? I heard rumors of chaos at the Abbey, but I had hoped they weren't true. The Midnight Union's never really been a problem. I mean, sure, they engage in a little smuggling and gambling, but this? It just doesn't make sense. Well, we need to go straight to the source. The Midnight Union does nothing without the approval of Count Hosni at Tura. I can't imagine him being behind this, but one never knows. Hosni has a walled estate on the shore to the west of here. Strangely enough, the man has apparently chosen this same time to have a betrothal celebration, and I happen to have an invitation I won't be using. Go in my stead and talk to Hosni. Find out if he knows anything about the Dream Shard.
Count Hosni is in residence, but no one gets into the party without an invitation. Let me see. Ah, this is a platinum-level invite. The Count says you get to come and go as you please. That's more leeway than he usually gives his guests these days. I don't mean anything by it. It's just, the Count is different since he met that woman. But I don't ask questions. I suggest you don't either. He's in the manor with his betrothed, Lady Edema. Tonight's festivities have already resulted in 4 deaths. Better hurry.
Well, an unfamiliar face. I'm certain I didn't invite you. What's your business here? Is that so? We'll see. Tell you what, I've got a task that needs doing, but it might get ugly. Take care of it for me, and you're in. Now, let's see. I gather you want a piece of the Midnight Union's action. As for me,
I have a family situation that needs to be sorted out. That's where it might get ugly. I want you to get the family signet ring. My father refuses to hand it over, in protest at my involvement with Edema. That ring should be my engagement gift. That and all it bestows. Get it for me, and I'll give you whatever you ask. I've put him for safekeeping in the guest house across the courtyard. I'd welcome him at our celebration, but he spurns us. Even a son can stand only so much. See that you succeed. My beloved doesn't like failure, and insists that I punish it severely. My betrothed is an unusual woman. She challenges me, drives me to excel. She guides and strengthens me. And I find I've acquired her stimulating taste for bloodshed. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her.
Did my son send you? Or are you just one of his feckless, doomed guests? Really? Did he tell you why he wants it? The signet proves ownership of our estate. Once he has the ring, my wife and I can be disposed of. So what did he buy you with? So the story is true then? Well, I hope you succeed, but not at the cost of our lives. Hosni only spares me because I've hidden the ring. If he kills me, he'll never find it. But I fear his next step will be to threaten my wife, Sarali. Hosni has separated us. He's put Sarali in the summer house above the beach. Go there. Make sure she's safe. And tell her about the Dream Shard. She and Hosni were quite close. If anyone would know where he'd keep such a relic, it's Sarali. Turn right outside my door and go to the west gate. Then just follow the path along the bluff to the summer house. You'll just have to trust your instincts. I think you know the difference between an honest man and one who's gone mad. You want the Dream Shard. I want to know my wife is safe. Let's help each other.
Keep out, you supernal brutes. Remember what happened the last time you tried to sneak in? I may be old, but my stiletto is still sharp. Thank the Eight. I've been so worried since Hosni separated us. And now those supernal dreamers outside are threatening me. Though it could be that Hosni just sent them to intimidate me. I do. And I think that so-called Lady Edema is to blame. I'm certain she's why he's threatening Rihad and me. And I'd wager she's putting him up to even worse. He did that? Then he's taken High Rock's main defense against Vermina's cultists. Oh, Edema's behind it all right. If only we could prove it. If Hosni stole the Dream Shard, he did it for Edema. And if so, he'll never give it to you. And you are here to recover the Dream Shard, aren't you? If you help me clear Hosni's name, I'll help you get it. I need evidence that Edema is controlling Hosni. Proof that her Daedric influence brought the supernal dreamers here. I have a plan. There must be some form of communication between her and the supernals. If you can find, say, letters from the cult to Edema, I could use them to clear Hosni's name when this is all over. I suggest searching their camp on the beach. Follow the path down to their camp by the dock. The supernals arrived by boat. Search there first. It's mostly guesswork, but informed guesswork. I had an aunt who briefly joined the supernal dreamers, so I heard the rhetoric. When Edema showed up, her talk about achieving one's dreams immediately made me suspicious. Alchemy. She gives him potions that put him into dreaming sleep, then visits his dreams, seduces him. The worst of it is, he's been betrothed to a good woman, Sister Sophia, a spirit warden. Adema made Hosni drop her. Poor girl. Well, at least you're still alive. Did you manage to find any evidence that will help exonerate Hosni? Mara's heart. This is exactly what we needed. With this in hand, my husband and I can escape this place and go to seek help. I have one final favor to ask. I've been thinking about the Dream Shard and what I know about the Vermina cult. Hosni spends long periods asleep these days. I think Adema is using the relic to control Hosni through his dreams. Adema's been giving my son potions. If you can figure out which one puts him into dreaming sleep, and take some yourself, I think you'll be able to enter his dreams as she does. Talk to Hosni's bard, Disdain. He's in on all Hosni's secrets. There must be some way to get through to Hosni. He often plays in the courtyard garden. Disdain's a maggot, but he's close with Hosni. He's smart and he's no coward, so watch yourself.
If you want me to play something for you, you'll just have to wait your turn. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Take a walk. I've seen Hosni worship at a shrine to Vermina, and then take a sleeping brew. So check the shrine. The rest is on you. I think you're trying to intimidate me. Here's a Bardley riddle. If what's right is wrong, then what's left is right. And that's all you'll get from me.
You have entered my son's dream. Some uncorrupted part of him has sent me to tell you what you need to know. Yes, but the dream is Hosni's. Somewhere in this dream is the omen of blood, the demon from Quagmire that drives him to madness. You must find the omen and slay it. That which lives in dreams can be slain in dreams. If you kill Vermina's omen in Hosni's dream, it will be ejected from our world forever, and my son will be free.
Sister Sophia was never worthy of you.
At one time, there was a spark between Sophia and I, but she doesn't hold a candle to you. There is another woman. You can't compare to her. It's over.
Oh, Hosni. How can you be so cruel?
Cruel? Now that I see you clearly, it's a wonder I'm so lenient. Be gone.
Do you seek death? You found it.
My betrothed lies dead before me, but all I can feel is relief. I watched from a dream as a nightmarish reflection of myself committed mad crimes of blood. I killed so many, I threatened my own parents. Righting the wrongs I did here will take years, but thanks to you, I can at least start. I have to repair the damage I've done. The first thing I'll do is order my guards to drive the supernal dreamers from our shore. Then I'll send for my parents. You have more urgent work to do. The Dream Shard must be returned to Abadurak at Pariah Abbey. I sense that Vermina's not yet done with Stormhaven. The Spirit Wardens will need the Shard to oppose her.
Ah, it's you. As I had foreseen, it is gratifying to have one's foresights proven true. Well done. You should have the honor of returning the Dream Shard to its place on Azura's statue. Please see that it is properly returned. Then we can talk about what comes after.
Thank you, mortal. I had my doubts, but it seems the Abbot's faith in you was well placed. I will watch you more closely from now on.
You have triumphed. The threat of Hosnia Tora's Midnight Union is quelled, and we can return to watching and warding. Not yet, but you've brought us a great victory. Vermina's immediate threat has been foiled. And now, we'd like you to have this. The other Wardens and I infused our power into a mighty weapon to aid you in your fight. Returning the Dream Shard to its rightful place is no small victory, but Vermina attacks on several fronts. I kept this quiet, but Azura warned me. There is another omen. Yes, Menevia is secure, but Vermina's dark influence now seeps into the eastern region of Gavadan. Azura's shrine there has been desecrated. It's the supernal dreamers again. I'm sure of it. I'm glad you're in this with me. We must stop the dreamers, and if there is another omen, we must destroy it. I leave now for Shinji's Scarp in Gavadan. I want you there too, but first, I need you to warn High King Emmerich.
Welcome back to Wayrest. It's good to see you again. Do you have any news? To be honest, this whole matter with the Dream Shard has robbed me of a few nights' sleep. I'll be a royal grump if we can't get this matter resolved soon. Well, there we go then. That wasn't quite so bad as Abbot Durak made it sound. I'm sure he had his reasons, though. What about the Daedra, the omen that was behind all this? I trust it's dead or gone? In Gavadan? Why couldn't it be in Morrowind or somewhere else across the continent? Gods! We already have enough trouble in Gavadan. General Gardren says the Iron Hand ogres are far from being fully defeated. He's the best damned general in the Daggerfall Covenant, if you ask me, and he's a good friend. His army came to our defense against the Iron Hand ogres. They've fought hard, but the battle's not over. Gardren's headed back to Shinji's Scarp even now. Well, that's good, at least. You two are the experts, though I suppose that's a dubious honor. If there is an omen in Gavadan, I'm guessing it's similarly disguised? Gardren didn't report anything suspicious, but maybe it's worth asking Captain Ernell. Yes, Ernell was fighting with Gardren, but he's just been reassigned to shore up our defenses here in Wayrest. It may be a wild guar chase, but it's worth asking Ernell if he saw any signs of Daedric influence in Gavadan.
I recognize you from the stories. You're the one who helped save Count Atura, aren't you? He's an old friend. I'm glad to make your acquaintance. Don't mind the guillotine. It's just for show. Well, you know as well as anyone else, these supernal dreamers have been trying to recruit people all over Stormhaven. We're hoping this will serve as a deterrent. If we catch a cultist, we'll execute him. Nothing more than that. Really? I heard there was a woman who joined the cult in Alcare and tried to murder her husband. We don't look too kindly on that. You didn't come here to talk about politics, though, did you? Sure enough, I was acting liaison to General Godrin out at Shinji Scarp, but he's worried that the ogres might break through and attack Wayrest. Godrin suggested to the king that I be assigned to organize defenses here, so here I am. Between you and me, I really don't think so. General Godrin has done a good job. The orcs have driven the ogres almost back into the mountains. Morale at Shinji Scarp is quite high. Not that I know of. General Godrin's been losing sleep, worried about the ogres, but other than that, everyone's been sleeping just fine. Or at least as well as you can expect for a war camp. General Godrin is acting a little strange, though. It's not my place to question the general, but he does seem to be blowing the ogre threat out of proportion. That's just my 2 coppers, though. Good luck if you're headed out to Gavadon.
Don't question my orders. Just tell the commander we need more soldiers and more supplies.
Yes, General. If you say we need them, then we need them.
It's good you're here. The general says the battle does not go as well as he hoped. I told him you could help. I've had little time to search for the Omen. Did you learn anything in Wayrest? Anything about nightmares in Gavadon?
The general? If the Omen were to get a hold of him, that would be very bad. Before we act, we must be sure, though. For now, we keep an eye on Godrin. Perhaps helping him defeat the ogres will flush the Omen out.
We need everyone we can get. You're just in time. I need every able-bodied man and woman. You're carrying a weapon, so I assume you're able. You like to fight ogres? It does, and by Moloch we need you. The Iron Hand ogres have stopped us cold out there, and I can't afford to lose any more soldiers. Will you join my clan, Murtagh clan, in this battle? We've been trying to break through the ogre lines for days. Sergeant Ulfin is leading the charge. If you can help him take the tower up on the rocks, we can establish a forward command post. Then we're in striking distance to finish this thing. I brought my army here as a favor to King Emmerich, but Murtagh clan has other battles to fight. We need to finish the Iron Hand ogres and finish them fast. May your kills be quick and many, soldier. The Iron Hands come from our side of the mountains, from Hrothgar. They've plagued our efforts to rebuild Orsinium for years. Murtagh clan has fought them more times than I can count. That's why King Emmerich asked us to come to Gavadon's aid. Both. I fought at Emmerich's side in Rancer's War. We helped drive the Reachmen from Stormhaven, and in exchange, Emmerich returned Orsinium to Orc hands. That conflict was of mutual benefit. This one isn't. Because it was Bretons who destroyed Orsinium, and now Murtagh clan must come to their rescue? Maybe. Emmerich's my friend, and he's High King of the Daggerfall Covenant, but we won't forget Orsinium. Wait until next time. That's what we say. Our chieftain is in Hrothgar, but I am proud to say I lead Murtagh clan in battle. Centuries ago, Murtagh clan was one of the strongest clans in Orsinium. We were nearly destroyed along with the city, but we are resilient. Some of us do, some don't. It will be decades before Orsinium regains its former glory. Many see the city as a reminder of past defeats. Nonetheless, Murtaugh clan works to rebuild it, and to defend it from the Iron Hand ogres.
Well, that didn't work. Time to come up with a new plan. Again. What went wrong? I'll tell you what went wrong. I was trained to fight ogres, not rocks! We can't even get to the ogres. It's those damn boulders they're throwing. Every time we try to charge across, another one of my soldiers gets smushed! Did he? You can't fly, can you? Sure would make it easier. Failing that, if you're willing to make a run for it, I'll cheer you on. From back here. One tip, don't run in a straight line. Zigzag. Hide behind the rocks and you just might make it. If you can make the ridge, I bet 50 gold those ogres fall back. Take my war horn. If you get across, climb the tower and blow the horn. That will signal us to move up and establish a forward command post. Guts and glory, friend!
Sergeant Ulfin's impressed. Says you've got guts and you're fast on your feet. Assuming you can fight, I think we found the hero to finish these ogres off. Ha! There won't be an attack. I don't have the soldiers to spare. Abbot Duroc says you're a champion, though, and I trust him. I believe you can do this on your own. The ogre's leader is called Skull Crusher. He's big, he's mean, and he's nasty, but you can take him. I would send soldiers to help you, but another battle is brewing, and they have to prepare. It's a fight that's long overdue, but it's Clan Murtaugh's fight, not yours. Your fight is with the ogres. I need you to kill Skull Crusher and stop the ogres from coming through the mountain. The Iron Hands have been using a cavern to get through the mountains. I sent a mining team to collapse the cavern, but they never reported back. Find them and help them get it done. After that, we can clean up what's left.
Please, you have to finish it. We were so close. Just those last 3 support beams and we'd have caved it in. Boom! No more ogres. There's no one left to help. Just me, and I'm spent. Get through the ogres and you could do it alone, though. A pickaxe to the support beams down there will bring the whole place down. Smash them, and then run for your life. Just down the hill. Shamargro Lorga had one. When we ran, the ogres followed him. I heard his screams. His pickaxe should be there. I'd give you mine, but it's all I have to defend myself. If the ogres see me, I at least want to go down swinging. All right, take it. If you come back and I'm dead, though, I still want it back. I want to be buried with it. It's always brought me luck. Hope it does the same for you. For all of us. You did it! I couldn't believe it when I heard the crash, but you brought the whole place down. Almost cost you your life. I searched through the rubble. Was just about to give up. Glad I found you, though. After what you did, it was an honor. You shut them down. Our soldiers cleared out the stragglers. No more Iron Hands. I know General Godron will want to see you.
So you survived. I worried you were buried along with the ogres. For collapsing that cavern, you deserve a medal. Unfortunately, though, General Godron's in no condition to hand out awards. I don't know. When he heard the cavern collapse, he declared mission accomplished for the Iron Hand ogres. But then he ordered me to muster the troops and prepare to march on Wayrest. I don't understand what happened to the General, but I will say he just hasn't been himself lately. If there's anything I can do to help him, please let me know. They're just upstairs. I know Abbot Duroc will be relieved to see you. He said to send you up right away when you returned. Whatever's going on, I hope you can help General Godron. He's like a father to me.
Praise Azura. I was losing faith. You were right about General Godron. The omen of betrayal has the General in its grips. He was going to betray Emmerich and attack Wayrest. This was Vermina's ultimate plan, to destroy the Daggerfall Covenant. It sounds like her omen has been twisting the General's mind, convincing him to betray King Emmerich. I suspected the omen was manipulating events toward that end, But by defeating the ogres, you exposed its plan before it was ready. No. Vermina and her minions still have the general in their grips. You've done this before, so I think you should do it again. We need to get Godrun back.
Don't question my orders. Just tell the commander we need more soldiers and more supplies.
Yes, General. If you say we need them, then we need them.
Sorry, General. We can't deploy so many against the Iron Hand ogres. Why do you ask for 3 regiments?
Vengeance. Emmerich trusts me. I can make Wayrest suffer as Orsinium did. Won't refuse allies, but don't forget who's in charge.
Of course, General. After we sack Wayrest and kill the king, you can have the city. We just want the people. You fought so hard and all for nothing. You will die in this dream.
You're a fool to cross me, mortal. I wish your presence in Quagmire. Come to me. You mortals. Always such high aspirations. You dream of interfering with my plans, but it is a fantasy. Of course you don't. You actually believed my manipulations would be so vulnerable. You are not even a hindrance. You can. There's nothing you can do now. The omens were a distraction, a daydream. Now the real nightmare begins. You see, you protected your general.
but you sacrificed your king.
Once again, you return safely from the dream, bringing one of Vermina's victims back with you. General Godrun seems to be feeling himself again.
King Emmerich? That is bad. We just received word that the king has fallen ill. It cannot be a coincidence. Vermina is raising the stakes. She makes a final bid for power by assaulting our king.
King Emmerich falling ill cannot be a coincidence. Vermina is raising the stakes, making a final bid for power by assaulting the king himself. I am out of my league. I will go to the king's side, but we must seek Azura's help.
You must go to Azura's shrine at the Weeping Giant. It has been defiled, and I fear the Supernal Dreamers are involved. Regardless, the shrine must be cleansed. That is certain. To cleanse the shrine, you need to get glow dust from the wisps on the eastern shore. That and the rare mineral azurite from the northern hills. Cleanse the shrine and pray for Azura's guidance. She will send it.
I've done all I can, but the king seems to slip further away every hour. I'm afraid there is no way to enter the dream either. There's something different this time. Something far more dangerous.
A dusk stone. Fascinating. I've heard of them, but never seen one. It's said that Azura once used a dusk stone to break the barrier between day and night. Maybe it can also penetrate the barrier between waking and sleeping.
I almost lost faith there. I don't know why I doubted Azura. Why I doubted you. Maybe it's from being so close to the king. He's consumed by terror in his dream.
The Night Terror? Vermina's own consort? Then this does not even compare to the threat the omens represented. The Night Terror. His name was once Golthus, and he was Vermina's lover. Now, he is her champion. I suppose you must. But be warned. The Night Terror takes many forms, and has countless methods of inflicting pain and fear. No wonder the king suffers so. Hurry then. Azura be with you, friend.
Daggerfall Covenant needs a stronger ruler, Emmerich. Your reign as High Priest has come to an end. I'm taking Wayrest.
Damn it, Godrun. We've been friends for years. How can
I
you
need
just
aid!
betray us?
I rue the day my father gave you my hand in marriage. You're not worthy of being my husband, and you're certainly not worthy of being my king.
Maria, I don't understand. I know we went for political reasons, but I thought that over the years you actually came to... I thought you loved me. If I've lost your support, then I have lost everything. The prisoner must pay for his crimes. It is the only way to restore order to the kingdom. Treason. His actions would have destroyed the Daggerfall Covenant. He has been found unworthy in every way. He deserves to die. But I am King Emmerich, the new King Emmerich. The unworthy weakling will be gone, and I will take his place. Why did you make him leave? I was this close to reaching the peace of death.
It has just been a jest. The Daggerfall Covenant, my kingdom, my life. I was never worthy to be king. I'll die here, and one more worthy will take my place.
No, I wish that were true. It was the other life that was a dream. All that business about the Daggerfall Covenant was just a pack of lies. This is reality. Fear, bloodlust, betrayal. In my heart, I think I always knew that. No, I'm not falling for that again. 1,000,000 times he's shown me. To hope is to suffer. Why don't you just kill me and have done with it? Tell Galthis to come back. He can take me. He can be me. Just end this nightmare. Mocking a broken man. That's low. Even for a creature of oblivion. You know where he went. My castle. His castle now. His damn minions hold the keys. The knight, the thief, the general. If you're not going to kill me, please, just go away.
I rue the day my father gave you my hand in marriage.
Galthis rules Stormhaven. I will return for sacrifice.
When Galthis is king, suppose me Artura will not elude me again.
General Godwin will obey me again.
Born day you will come. You will die. And in your After you're dead, I will return and assume Emmeric's sword. When I awaken as Emmerich, I will tell everyone of your sacrifice within the dream to save my life. You'll be remembered as the hero who saved King Emmerich. No one will ever know the truth. Like you, the real Emmerich will be dead. I'll destroy the Covenant, and the people will curse both your idols.
What in oblivion just happened? Something changed. It's going to be bad, isn't it? It always is. I don't know why I bother asking. Still, I seem to remember you, but... This is just another trick, isn't it? Dead? Truly? So, I can still be Emmerich? I can still be High King? I don't know I deserve that at this point, but I guess it's a good thing. Yes, my binds are actually loosening, and that is very good. Does this mean...
I would speak to you again, mortal. Come through the mirror to Quagmire.
I'm impressed, mortal. You navigated my nightmares without losing your nerve. And yes, you have saved your little king. For now. Of course you will. You have slain my consort as well. I'll get over my loss, but I think I'll keep you here for a while in his stead.
The
Perhaps a
Daggerfall
century or
Covenant
two
was a
will teach you
mistake.
humility.
We can't trust the Red Guards.
Perhaps we will. You have certainly proven resourceful in the past. Even if you escape Quagmire, mortal,
Must remain
you will not
vigilant.
escape my vengeance.
The Red Guards
I
could
can
be plotting
patient,
against
very
us.
patient. Goodbye, for now.
Durak is weak. The shard should be ours.
Stealing from Durak will be as easy as stealing a sweet roll from a baby.
I asked Abbot Durak to go downstairs because I wanted to speak with you for a few moments alone. Tell me something. Do you recall everything that happened in the dream? Frankly, I wish your memory was as hazy as mine. What I do recall, I'm rather ashamed of. I am the King of Stormhaven, the High King of the Daggerfall Covenant, but that damned Daedra reduced me to a pathetic child. I am too, and I owe you for that. And more, really. You were the one who acted nobly in there, not me. You had enough courage for both of us. I was broken. You saw me. I can only hope this experience will make me a stronger, a better king. I appreciate you saying that, but this isn't one I can just shake off. It's my burden, though, and I must bear it. But enough of this dreary talk. Come with me to the throne room. There is no suitable reward for what you've done. Sorry to say it, but your success has probably earned you more responsibility than reward. You'll be hearing from me again sooner than you'd like. I apologize in advance. Bah! Are you always so damn noble? You need to lighten up, my friend. Perhaps this will lighten your spirits. It's a small token of my appreciation, but one I hope will serve you as you have served me. You're a hero, and now, a friend, too. Speaking to you now as a friend, and as your king, I wonder if I might prevail upon you to assist me with some other matters. One that is a matter of state, and another that is of a more personal nature. Rivenspire is the real problem. The quibbling between the noble houses there seems to have turned bloody. I would send you with my authority to try to restore order. I will join you when I can. And then there's the personal matter. That damned guillotine. For reasons you might recall, I want it demolished. I've given the order to Captain Ernell, but on your way out of Wayrest, I would ask that you ensure it's being done thoroughly. Your help with both these matters is much appreciated. Until that damn guillotine's been dismantled, I won't be able to sleep. And more importantly, until the matter in Rivenspire is resolved, the Covenant will be severely weakened. Honestly, I deserve some of the blame for Rivenspire's troubles myself. After Rancer's war, I didn't trust any of the nobles enough to give them the throne, so I appointed 3 houses to share rule of the kingdom. Seemed like a smart strategy. So it seems, Maria actually counseled me to appoint a single ruler in Rivenspire more than a year ago. I should have listened, but after the mess with Rancer, there's something about nearly having my head on a pike that's hard to forget. Well, yes. My decision to marry Maria instead of King Rancer's daughter really stuck in the man's craw. He had Wayrest surrounded at one point. I remember I even dreamt about my head on a pike. Of course, as you know, I've had worse nightmares.
Oh, it's you. I can't believe it. I was just praying for Azura to watch over the king, and you show up at that very moment? This can't be a coincidence.
You know, I was thinking, if Vermina's omens were really driving people mad, does that mean they weren't responsible for their decisions? Never mind, don't answer that.
You are truly favored by Azura. Wherever you go and whatever you do, I hope you will not take her blessing for granted. I should add that personally, I am honored to have walked at your side in her light. May she continue to watch over you.
And so we meet again. Tabitha and I were actually just on our way back to the Abbey. We heard Abbot Durak was here, so we came to tell him that the shrine was cleansed. I guess you beat us to it, though.
Ah, good to see you again, my friend. Your fame is growing fast. I hear your name all the time now. Better you take the spotlight and I can stick to the shadows, eh? I am too, my friend. I am too. I hear the king was ill, and I understand we suffered from similar afflictions. I am, a little distracted, but yes, I came to pay my respects. Seeing Sister Sophia here has caught me off guard. Do you think she could ever forgive me? Very smart. You are a wise counselor. After I speak with the king, I will make my apology. Thank you, my friend, for everything.
You're new to Wayrest. Welcome. Even if you're just passing through, your safety's important to us. If you have any troubles, you just let me know and I'll take care of it.
So the true culprit behind Lacana's murder was indeed Vermina. I'm glad to know her plot against my brother was ultimately thwarted. I'm glad we spared Sir Hughes as well. I understand he's doing penance at Pariah Abbey.
So first you freed me, and now you saved the king? You certainly do keep busy. You're an inspiration, too. I hope we run into each other again.
On behalf of the Knights of the Flame, I came here to pay my respects. You saved my order, and now my king, friend. I have a feeling I will hear about many more of your accomplishments in the future. I am honored to know you.
In all the years I've known him, I've never seen Godrun so emotional. I'm sure the king will forgive him, but I worry that he will not be able to forgive himself.
Your Majesty, I humbly beg your forgiveness. My mind was poisoned, and I was not myself. I vow to make this up to you.
I understand that saving my husband was just the latest in a series of heroic acts to save Stormhaven. This was a threat to the Daggerfall Covenant as a whole. So Alikir thanks you as well. My sister was always headstrong. She chose Duke Nathaniel, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. They were on a state visit when we met the king and the duke. My wedding was first, followed shortly by hers. Now Lacana is dead, and the Covenant is shaken. My husband and I must travel to Alikir to speak to King Vaharajad, my father. We will return my sister to her birthplace, Sentinel. We'll keep the Daggerfall Covenant strong. Lacana wouldn't want her death to imperil all we've worked for.
And so your journey brings us together again. I was wondering if I might encounter you during my trip back to Wayrest. Slowly, I returned to Wayrest to request additional supplies and men from the king. But it appears things aren't entirely peaceful at home. So I'm stuck until resources free up. That or I go back to Aldcroft with my helmet in my hand.
Aha! So you return from Gavadon with another feather in your cap. Defeating the Iron Hand ogres. Wish I could claim such an accomplishment. Frankly, it's an honor to know you. Is there anything you need from me? Why, yes, of course, yes. Take it down and burn it. The king told me this was of the highest priority. I'll admit, I thought he was joking, but I assume he wouldn't have sent you if that was the case. We'll redouble our efforts. Out of my way. I'm getting out of here. I wouldn't go up there if I were you. Entire farm's been burned down. Scamps are everywhere. And Mr. Norin, he's gone missing. We woke up this morning and the farm was on fire. Smoke everywhere. It was the scamps. They're all over the place. I would have left right away, but we couldn't find Mr. Norin. He hadn't been the perfect boss, but I didn't want to leave him. Yes, Mrs. Norin and Gunnis. They won't give up. but we've been looking all day. He's gone, probably dead, and I'm not sticking around to join him. If you want to help, talk to Mrs. Norin.
Fire, scamps, William disappears, and now strangers on the property. The farmhands all gave up. Maybe I need to give up too. The farm's lost, and my sweet William. Sorry, hero. You're too late to save the day this time. Look around, the farm is in ashes. My daughter Gunnis and I stayed only to search for my husband, but at this point, I think we have to assume he was killed in the fire. If you want to waste your time, I won't argue, but we're packing up and leaving. My daughter Gunnis is over there sifting through the ashes. Would you mind telling her to come back to the house?
This doesn't make sense. There has to be something, anything, some sign of what happened to my father. Can you help me? Can you help me sift through these ashes? How can she say that? How could she leave without him? She can give up if she wants to, but I won't. Not until I know for sure. I still haven't searched everywhere. Will you help me? I don't just believe, I know. My mother is just not thinking clearly. We haven't even checked all the buildings. I've actually been putting off the northern barn. It creeps me out. I'll go talk some sense into my mother, but could you check it? Mother? Is that you? Oh, you came back. You have to help me. Some creepy guy was here, and then my mother tied me up, locked the door, and they left. Can you get me out? I think she wrapped it up in a piece of bacon and fed it to one of those scamps. That's what it sounded like, at least. Mother? Is that you? Thank the 8 you came back. Do you know what's going on? Some creepy man named Sensualist was here, and then my mother tied me up and left. No, she just said it was for my own good. Then something about a dream and my dad. I don't understand. Who was that man, and why did my mother tie me up? A cult? What cult? You don't mean... Oh no, my dad! She said something about him and a sacrifice he had to make. The man said they were going up the hill to the west. Please! You have to go after them! Yes, please. And then go find my dad. I'll meet you outside.
Where's Gunnis? I have to find her.
You are an unnaturally incredible hero among heroes. You saved my dad. I feel like I should be sad because of my mother, but I just can't help it. I'm so happy. Thanks to you. It's hard to look around here and feel safe, but I do. Especially since you're here. When we rebuild the farm, I think I'll build a statue in your honor and put it right over there.
Did you hear? Duke Sebastian was a werewolf, and he ate his entire family.
Do you think I shared a bed with that woman and she nearly killed me? I suppose she may have been under the influence of that crazy cultist, Sensualist. That reminds me, I hate to ask anything else of you, but I think there may still be some danger. Well, the scamp's running around here for one thing, but I have reason to believe there could be worse things coming if we don't act fast. That crazy Sensualist was telling Rosalie about these portals he had opened up around the farm. My thoughts exactly, and I'd like to go out and do it myself. I wouldn't want Gunnis to lose both her parents. I think it might be smarter if you go, if you're willing, that is. Were those Daedra death screams I heard? Music to my ears. And you destroyed those damnable portals too. I think now we'll be safe. It's hard to believe that someone I don't even know would go so far out of their way to help us. There's hope now, at least. Thank you.
So the farm's all clear? Terrific. Now we just have to rebuild. I wish we had a bigger family. You know, My father's not that old. If we could just find an eligible lady.
Hey, over here! Could you help a fellow out? Praise Akatosh. You'd be amazed how many people just walk by a fellow in dire circumstances. My sister and I were visiting our aunt's farm when the whole place went to oblivion in an oat basket. Crazy cultists and Daedra are killing everyone. Not a soul. I don't think there's any hope of saving the farm. My aunt, my cousin, I think they may be dead. I just want to get my sister and go home to Camlorn. Is that so much to ask? But my sister is too scared. She won't come. She's locked herself up in the house we were staying in. I knocked on the door. I even begged her to come. You think you could try to persuade her? Her name is Marlene. Thank you. I was beginning to lose faith. So many selfish people just walk by, abandoning me and my sister to fate. If you can just convince her to leave the house, then she and I can get out of here and go back to Camlorn. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I'm not even that close to my aunt. My parents just sent us here to work the farm for a season. If you want to search for my aunt, that would be great. But I just want to get my sister and go home. I know. They're terrible, aren't they? That's another reason why I just want to go back to Camlorn. People are nicer there, I think.
Go away! So far, all the crazy people and monsters have just ignored this house. If you keep knocking, they'll come and kill you. And then they'll break down the door and kill me! Safe? You really expect me to believe that? I saw those things. I saw what they did to the farmhands. There's no way I'm coming out there. I guess you're right. Alright, I'll come out for a peek. And if it's clear, we can make a run for it. But you'd better protect me.
Let's get going then!
I'm not stopping here. Those things are too close. I'll meet you at the castle, Finis.
I'm glad that's over. We need to get back to Camlorn. See you around. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I've just been under a lot of stress with this whole situation. Here's something for your help. It's not much, but we have a long trip ahead of us. I'm sure you understand.
Could you please untie me? It's good that you've come along, friend. The Van family is in dire need of aid. If you could untie me, we could have a more civil conversation. The Supernal Dreamers. I should have seen this coming, but I failed, and I need your help to set matters straight. The Dreamers have captured Ingrid Van, the owner of this farm, and I fear they have dark plans for her. I'm certainly eager to explain the situation further, but do you think we could continue the conversation over by the bridge? Come with me to the bridge. We can speak safely there.
Lucas! Lucas! Can you hear me?
My poor little baby. All alone out there. If you're leaving the village, if you could please look out for my son. With these slavers about, I'm afraid something terrible has happened.
Breakfast. I made his favorite. Biscuits and jam. Then he went out to play. That good-for-nothing deputy won't even go look for him. But the slavers could have shipped Lucas off to Morrowind by now. He says that securing the town comes first, but the town seems perfectly secure to me. Someone has to help my baby! If you find Lucas, I'll be eternally grateful. He's just an innocent boy. In a minute, I'll have to go get dinner ready, but I'm going to keep his plate warm. Sometimes he goes fishing on the beach just south of the village. He wears his little boots. Oh, my poor little boy. Please find him. You have to.
God strike you! Couldn't you have just waited 5 more minutes? The slavers outside the tent were talking about where their base of operations is. Then they got interrupted. I'm guessing they saw you. My mom sent you, didn't she? Exactly. My mother's a little overprotective. She still tries to tuck me into bed at night. It's embarrassing. And now she's messed up the whole plan. I actually came here to spy on the slavers. Thanks for rubbing it in. So, the plan wasn't going perfectly. But I was adapting. I didn't hear where their base of operations is, but I did see plans for some attack floating around the camp. I'd hoped to take those back to Deputy Lyric. You did? Well, then I guess we can consider this operation a success. If you haven't already, we just need to get those plans to Deputy Lyric in the village. I guess I should go reassure my mother. Get those plans back as fast as you can. May the Eight protect you.
I heard someone was down there teaching the slavers a lesson. I'm guessing you're that someone. Any signs they're planning something else? An attack on the lighthouse, but why? That doesn't make any sense. Let me take a look at these plans. They're putting out the lighthouse signal fire so ships will crash on the rocks. Someone's got to warn the lighthouse keeper, Tyree. Damn it, if only we could spare the men. Thanks for at least letting me know. Safe travels, friend.
You did it. You even got him home in time for dinner. It weighs heavily on a mother's heart to worry about her son. I can't thank you enough. I'll never forget what you've done for us. I hope someday my little Lucas grows up to be like you.
The lengths I go to for a free breakfast of biscuits and jam. My mother can be a hassle sometimes, but it's a small price to pay to have someone else wash your small clothes.
The boy's home and she's happy. Back to spoiling the poor kid. Maybe I can sneak away for a drink soon.
My family is whole again thanks to you. You'll have to excuse me though. I need to go get Lucas ready for bed.
Perhaps we can now have a civil conversation. I'm Perry, Brother Perry, traveling through Alcaire on my way back to Pariah Abbey. Ingrid Van offered me a room for the night. It just happened to be the night the Supernal Dreamers attacked. They serve Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Nightmares. I know this because I am an initiate at Pariah Abbey. We knew the Dreamers were active in Alcaire, but their intentions for Ingrid Van suggest a more aggressive plan than we imagined. The Supernal Dreamers have put her into an enchanted sleep, tied down in front of a portal, undoubtedly from Vermina's dark domain. They will summon a Daedric spirit to inhabit Ingrid's body. You need to break the enchantment to free her. It will not be easy, and you will need to move quickly, but it can be done. You will need to reverse the Daedric ritual, which will require gathering a few somewhat grisly items. Then you must follow the directions exactly to break the spell. I'm afraid I would only be a liability in a fight. I can, however, offer you my amulet for some assistance, but you will still need to gather the items. You will need to acquire the hearts of 2 different Daedra. A Scamp and a Dremora should do. Then find my ritual candle in the Van's barn. Take the items to where Ingrid lies in the Stonebridge Mill, and there you will perform the ritual. Offer the Dremora heart first to summon the dark spirit. Then light the ritual candle to enchant it. And finally, offer the Scamp heart to dispel it. Memorize this, for it must be done in this order. When one meddles in such dark practices, anything is possible. I suggest you proceed with care and make sure to enact the ritual properly.
Is this the real world? Or is this yet another trick? I will not let the darkness in. Wait. This is real, isn't it? You're real. Was it you who woke me? Then I am indebted to you, stranger. That nightmare. I thought I would be stuck there forever. Wait, what about Rosen? Was that real, or was it just a dream? Where is she? Do you know? I think it was real. You have to help me! My daughter. And if they've harmed one hair, I'll salt all Tamriel with their blood. I just have to find her. There was something in the dream, a cultist standing over Rosen reading a scroll. It's on Nightmare Crag. Out of my way. Then you have to go. They're doing the same thing to her they wanted to do to me, but worse. There's something about that scroll. Please, get that scroll and find a way to pull her back. You have to!
My vessel is not prepared! Then you will be my vessel!
My mother. She was in the dream too. Is she... I have to get home.
Surely the Eight sent you to save us. Me, my daughter, we owe you our lives. Do you always go to such great lengths to help people you don't even know? Well, I'm glad you decided to do so today. You will always, always be welcome at the Van Farm. Stay as long as you like. This whole thing was like some terrible nightmare. It reminds me of the day I lost my husband so many years ago. I don't know if you can understand. I've moved on, but sometimes I still feel a little lonely. William, a widower. I'm so sorry to hear that. Poor Rosalie, may the Eight bless her soul. Are you suggesting I... Maybe I will pay the Nurins a visit. They appreciate the suggestion.
I bet I'm going to be having nightmares for a long time after all this. Times like these, I miss having my father around.
Oh, it's you. My hero. I can't thank you enough for talking me into leaving that house. What was I thinking?
These caves have been quiet for so long, but the winds have returned and our spirits with them. You walk among the living, yet you speak to the dead. Will you help return us to rest? I came here on a sacred mission, to slay the notorious bandits known as the Three. I ventured into these depths, leaving my fellow knights behind with orders to collapse the cave if I did not return. This cave became my tomb. Perhaps, but by sealing the cave, my fellow knights succeeded where I did not. The three starved here in the darkness. But now the cave is reopened, and their spirits again threaten the land. You must put their spirits to rest. My sword is forged of consecrated steel, and dedicated to the cause of purging evil from these lands. Take it, and finish what I started. It will aid you in your quest. The blade may have rusted to the point where it is useless in battle, but its magic remains. Defeating the spirits below with the sword in your possession will bind their souls to its steel. I wish I could tell you that I died in valiant battle, but I cannot. Like the very bandits I came to slay, I starved to death here in the dark, after my fellow knights collapsed the cave. Yes, my fellow knights did what had to be done. I can only imagine how difficult it must have been. But I had failed to fulfill my vow, and it was the only way to ensure the three would terrorize this land no more. No, these caves were too complex and the bandits too numerous. After the collapse, I crept down to find the three eating their minions to survive. I was too hungry, too horrified to face them, and I knew they were only putting off the inevitable.
Your soul!
You're a fool to come down here.
I sense a darkness lifted from the fiery depths. Tell me, have you done the deed? I can feel the serenity flowing into my spirit already. By destroying their spirits with my blade, you have fulfilled my vow and released me from this plane. Thank you. I'll return you to the surface now. Go with honor. and my gratitude.
You there, in the name of the Knights of the Flame, I ask your assistance. You there, if you respect the name of the Knights of the Flame, then I would ask your assistance. Bandits are masquerading as members of our order and then robbing people blind. You can steal from the bandits that which they stole from us. The motherless swine somehow got their hands on our tabards, and now they're robbing travelers on the road to Rothgar. Kill as many as you can, but mainly get our tabards back. You're alive. Were you successful? Thank you. At least now travelers won't be fooled into thinking they can trust these ruffians. After we get healed up, we'll make another push to drive the bandits from this region altogether.
You up for helping out a fellow adventurer? Look at you! I can tell by the look of you you're traveling around, meeting people, seeing new places. That's the life I'm going back to. This plantation is doomed and my days here are done. It's just been bad luck and lately, pure madness. Last week the Iron Hand ogres attacked. They broke the levee, pillaged the place. The orcs drove them back, but that was just the beginning. Now bandits are looting everything we have left. That's the thing. It was my adventuring band that founded this plantation. The mage Drodara put up the gold, but we all decided to retire here. Bad idea. I just want to leave now, but the bandits are holding my companions. They need help. What a relief. I wouldn't have been comfortable just abandoning my companions, but if you're going to help them, that frees me up. And let me tell you, it feels good. I'm just not the settling down type. I know that now. Nah, they might want to stay, but I just can't deal with all that. We made a good go of it here, but I need to move on now. Spend some time alone. It's a shame, because we made quite the team back in our younger days. There's me, Jan, the thief. Then there's Drodara, our magic user, the brains of the team. The brawn came from our fighter, Narstig, and then there was our cleric, Murkwatcher. She's really a shaman, but we called her cleric back then. I guess our team does sound a bit quaint these days, doesn't it? Drodara first suggested we retire about 20 years ago, but it was 10 years later before we actually settled down here. Technically, yes. He originally put up all the gold to build the place out and hire the workers. Drodara gave the rest of us a 20% share each. It's all pretty much worthless now. Well, they either drowned when the ogres broke the levees, or they fled, or the bandits have probably killed them now. I didn't see anyone left when I was sneaking away, except my companions, and the bandits have them tied up.
You fight well. Thank you for freeing me, friend.
Thanks to you, young one. I will find my own escape now.
This one thanks you, stranger. Please, come to meet in the storehouse. Drodara's companions. Friends. Punji bandits would have tied them up like this one. You found them. You freed them, yes? Oh, this is good. Relieves Drodara greatly. Many years we traveled together, and many years we worked to make this plantation profitable. Drodara can abandon plantation. Good friends, he cannot. So, our sweet Breton sister has departed. So considerate. Bah. Jan always planned to return to the road. This one is not surprised she left. Wish her well. Perhaps this is the way for Drodara also. Why, is this not what Drodara retired for? Ogres, floods, crocodiles, and bandits? So fun. Would you stay? Probably not. Drodara thinks maybe adventuring life is easier after all. Might need help convincing his other friends to leave, though. Ah, this one would be most grateful. After so many years, Drodara just doesn't have the heart to break everyone's dreams. You could talk to Narstig? He'll have better listening if it comes from you anyways. It was a boon from Bandar that you happened along. Was it Jan who asked you to help Drodara and the others? She has shared those feelings many times over the years. After the events of the last few days, Drodara thinks she might be right. Perhaps retirement is just a bad idea. Of course, Jan will always be a good friend. Still has wildness in her blood, though. Drodara understands that she needs to roam some. Perhaps she will join us when her legs grow weary. Drodara is old, and working a farm is hard, especially if starting over. Like Jan, Drodara also misses life of adventure. If you can convince Narstig and Murkwatcher to leave, this is what Drodara would prefer. Yes, this one was a member of the Mages Guild in good standing for many years. Was tired of casting spells, though. Drodara wanted to settle down and rest. But maybe that just wasn't the fate Riddlefar has seen for him.
Ah, the young adventurer again. You remind me of the old days. So many stories I could tell. But you'll want to be leaving, of course. Well, we might be heading out too. Jan might be right about a curse here. Speaking of Jan, have you seen her? He does? Imagine that. I was trying to think of how to convince him. That settles it then. If we're hitting the road, though, I'll need my old gear. Recovering it will be easier said than done. There is. If I had my armor, my helm, and my axe, I'd do it myself. But that's the thing. When we retired here, I buried all my adventuring gear out by the levee. Would you be willing to go out and get it for me? More I think about it, more I wonder why we stayed here this long. A true Nord dies with his axe in hand, not a pitchfork. Besides, this is more swamp now than farm. I spent years building that levee. Damn ogres! I suppose they were thinking just to leave destruction in their wake. Even if they had sacked Wayrest, it's not like they planned to settle in these parts. Now there's a sight for some sore old eyes. Oh, I missed this stuff. You've done me a great favor by getting it back. Probably doesn't look like much to you. But this helm and armor withstood the blows of the Orc warlord Noctul, a Nord killer at Farum. This axe lopped off that monster's misshapen head. I'll drink to those days, and more of them to come. Murkwatcher has aged much in these last few years. She often seems confused about where she is. She can be incredibly stubborn, too. Perhaps you could approach her about leaving.
Many drowned when the levees were broken. Others were eaten by the crocodiles. It's not the beasts' fault, though. It is their nature to hunt. Their spirits sing a song my heart hears. It is the song of the crocodile. They sing of nature's cycles. Every new life has its song, taken from an old one that is no more. Properly embodied, the life of a creature often requires its death. The song of the crocodile is loud and powerful. I know its melody. I know. It is natural for them to now return to a life of adventure, but not so for me. I must follow another path. All my life, I have harbored a secret. It drove me to leave home and seek adventure, but now I must face my inner truth. That I am not an Argonian. I am a crocodile. This lifetime, I have borrowed the form of another, but my true form is calling me home. I must return to the river. No, I am not. I never have. My entire life, I have felt like a crocodile out of water. Literally. I am old now, and this body is dying. If I become a crocodile, I can start anew, live the life I was meant to live. There is a way. An incantation, the crocodile song. I was never taught it, but I have known it my whole life. One song must end for another to begin. There is an old crocodile here, Ripple Strike. With his heart, I can sing the song. Thank you. The river has truly guided you here for this purpose. Take this charm, place it near Ripple Strike's nest. He will not be able to resist the call. He will come out, and then you can kill him. Ripple Strike no longer sings. Have you taken his heart? Hurry! We must move quickly if we are to renew the song. Here then, I will begin the incantation. I would ask you to help me in this one last thing before I return to the river. Join me in vengeance. These bandits have destroyed what's left of my home. I would begin my next life by avenging my previous one, but I will need you to guide me. I wish to kill their leader. When I become a crocodile, I will forget this life. If I fight beside you, I can keep my focus, at least for a little while. I have made the preparations. Eating the heart is the last step. Fight with me before I am gone forever. Are you ready? Though my mind may not recall the favor you have done for me, my spirit will. And the river. The river never forgets. This charm will keep me close. If we are parted, use it, and I will come. When our task is done, tell Drodara of my fate.
Narstig told me what you have done for Murkwatcher. Though this seemed dangerously unnatural to Drodara, there is no point in questioning it now. Though Drodara is sad to see Murkwatcher leave us, he is happy to know this evil man is dead. Perhaps someday this plantation may flourish again. Not by Drodara's hand, though. Narstig and I are leaving. Goodbye, and thank you.
If the Dreg attack again, we're all dead.
We're under attack. Word came in the Dreg were attacking the district of Dregside. Sergeant Stajin led us out of Wayrest to investigate. We found Dreg attacking citizens, and citizens fighting back. Madness!
They took him. They took everyone. They took my husband. He was only trying to defend our homes, but the Dreg took him. Please, stranger, can you help? The Dreg, they attacked us out of nowhere. My husband tried to fight back. Those things wounded him and dragged him off. To their spawning pools. Arcady might still be alive. May the Eight bless you for helping us. Please, find my Arcady. The Dreg came clattering into Dregside, attacking people. It was terrifying. My husband, Arcady, tried to rally folks to fight back. Sergeant Stagine brought a few guards. He's a good man, but it was 4 of them against all those Dreg. Baron Sorik owns this land. We begged for more guards, but he says the Dreg will leave on their own. Doesn't he care? Their hatching pools are nearby, but they've never bothered us before. For some reason, the Dreg came into town looking for trouble, and the people fought back. Some were killed, but others were dragged away. It's awful.
The damn Dreg are everywhere, and these citizens have lost their minds. They're attacking Dreg barehanded. I've saved as many as I can, but that last Dreg wounded me. Help! You're telling me there was a slaughter on both sides? The sergeant said there were Dreg eggs among the houses, and the Dreg must have come after them. I don't know. The slums are on Lord Sorik's land, but he refuses to send more soldiers. He acts like he's enjoying the slaughter. We must stop this before all the peasants get themselves killed. You can help by taking eggs from the slums back to the pools.
I can breathe again. Thank the Eight, I can breathe! I'm not hurt, but I'd be dead without you. The Dreg were keeping us for food and feeding us to their young. The little ones would gnaw through the mud and... It doesn't matter now. I'm going to find whoever's responsible for this. When I find out who did this to me, to us, I'll kill him. I'm not sure, but that dead man at arms there was one of them. I saw them bringing Dreg eggs into town from the pools. But they saw me too. That's how I ended up here. He tagged along behind the Dreg to make sure they disposed of me. I guess he just got too close. Serves him right, the rat.
Halt! Go no further till you've spoken with me. O intrepid traveler, heed my words before you climb this hill. You see yon tower-topped hill behind me? It's become a haunt of infernal abominations from beyond Mundus, demonic spirits sent here for the torment of mortals. Sorry, Priestess of Stendar. We always talk like that. Anyway, it's bad. I hope so. The sorceress undead on the hill have captured some of the locals who strayed too near. I tried to save them, but was driven back by the hideous, heinous power of their benighted... Anyway, I was driven back. Be careful. Be vigilant. Trust in Stendar. Once, yon looming abandoned tower was the garden spot of Princess Violetta, a daughter of the House of Gardner that ruled Wayrest before Emmerich. It was a joyous place where flowers bloomed, birds sang, and lovers dallied. It was nice. The Daedric Prince Molag Bal took note of its purity and aura of benevolence, and was sore offended. He cast a blight upon the height, profaning it with horrid undead. Thus, happy birdsong tower that was, became the fell, soul-shriven tower that is. Rites so horrible, the details would blast your mind. Suffice to say, the necromancers draw energy from their captives' torment so as to rend the barrier between worlds and summon more of their nefarious ilk. What?
You have been to Cold Harbor. I see its mark upon you. You must be able to hear me. Yes, you. Like me, you have been defiled by the Lord of Brutality. I've been screaming for so long. You must destroy us, Empty One. I do not want to be his eyes any longer. The Lord of Cold Harbor, Molag Bal, The necromancers plan to place us where they can spy on his enemies. Even now, he looks upon you through me. Gather the cursed skulls. Cast us upon the charnel heap in the tower. End our torment. It's good to be free at last. Thank you, Empty One. I am free of Molag Bal's curse, and will pass on to whatever fate awaits me. Dark anchors may yet fall, but Stormhaven will remain a blind spot for the father of vampires, at least for a while longer.
You return, and I sense a diminishing of the evil round the tower. How did you fare? Thanks, Stendarr, you happened by. With the denizens of death suppressed by your heroic efforts, it should now be within the capacity of my divine gifts to banish the works of the unholy and... Sorry. Anyway, after prayers, I'll go clean up.
The Dreg are thinning out, retreating. Did you succeed? Mara willing, that will calm the blasted things down. Of course, there's still the matter of who brought the Dreg eggs here in the first place. Dreg side's returning to normal. We'll cordon off the Dreg and let the guards sort things out. Guess your work here's done. It's Baron Sorik, the lord of this district. There's all this trouble with the Dreg, but he just blithely watches from the top floor of Arbogast's house. Apparently enjoying it. I don't like it. The whole situation smells wrong.
What's this? Another gutter snipe here to whine about the Dreg? I'll just say you wrote it yourself. It's my word against yours, and I'm a Breton nobleman. Don't waste my time. I admit, that might be enough to be inconvenient. Both Dregside and the hatching pools are in my fief. Both are infested with pests. I just came up with a brilliant way to have them exterminate each other. What of it, lowborn? You? Kill me? A Lord of Wayrest? Perhaps you would. You have that look about you. Very well, I'll have my men remove the eggs. Satisfied? What do you want me to say? I'll give them their land back and compensate them for this minor inconvenience. After that, I'm leaving. I refuse to live in the mud. Emmerich can find a swineherd to rule his pen of pigs.
There are wounded to tend to, but I'm wounded myself. Please, you have to help me. The Midnight Union bandits. I don't know why. I was no threat to them. But they attacked me anyways. No. I am a healer. I can take care of myself. It's the others. So many of my fellow wardens are injured. I was trying to help them, but I can't really go on. Take these poultices. It should at least help them get on their feet so they can get to safety. I saw many of my fellow wardens make it to safety. Thank you. It's so ironic that we rely on a stranger's help after being attacked by those we considered friends. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling better already. It's certainly a relief to know that the other wardens are safe. I'll be able to get back to the Abbey soon. Perhaps I'll see you there.
Yeah! It was a trap. They knew we would come. It was a trap. They knew we were coming. The Supernal Dreamers. Master Musgu said they were up to no good, and he was right. He and Brother Gerard are fighting them off. I ran to get help. Can you save them?
I should have fought harder. I should have protected Master Musgu. It's the Supernal Dreamers. They've opened a portal to Oblivion in Maw Cave. That's where those scamps came from. And we came here to close it. It was a trap. The Dreamers wanted Master Musgu for some reason. And now they've got him.
They're trying to open more portals here and there. We need to stop that. But I have to go try to save Master Musgu. Can you kill some scamps and hurl their heads into the nascent portals? The magical feedback should shut them down. I'm a spirit warden from Pariah Abbey, just west of here. We protect Stormhaven from unseen threats. Nasty things from Vermina's realm of nightmare. We act in Azura's name. They're badly misguided people who worship Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Nightmares. And that's what the Master says. I don't think they're misguided. I think they're rotten. And I'm going to kill the ones who took Musgu. It's simple transliminal metaphysics. The scamps just came here through another portal from Quagmire, Vermina's realm, so they're still charged with positive creatia. Got that? So, to open their portals, the supernal mages are channeling negative dismay waves from the dreaming cultists. Positive scamphead meets negative dismay, and poof! Anything else? I need to rescue Master Musgu. Name of Azura. This is bad. While I was fighting my way in, the cultists performed a ritual on Musgu. He's partially possessed by a Daedric spirit. He's stuck in a terrible dilemma. He insists I should return alone to Pariah Abbey, but I can't just leave him. Please, talk to him. He's mad if he thinks I'll leave here without him. There's something he's not telling me. To Quagmire, realm of the Daedric Prince Vermina, Queen of Nightmares. Believe me, she means the mortals of this plane nothing but ill.
It claws at me from within. It wants to get out. Bless you. But neither of you needed to risk your lives for me. What I need is strength of will. I need you to kill me. The supernal dreamers performed a ritual. They summoned the Daedric spirit and bound it within me. My brother Durak taught me to contain the spirit temporarily, but it's gaining strength. I can't hold out much longer. I'm a powerful spirit warden. If the Daedric spirit possesses me, it will combine my power with its own. I would become a danger to everyone in Stormhaven. You need to kill me before that happens. No. If I leave this gate to Quagmire, the spirit will take me. Unless... I suppose I could force the spirit out of me and into a dreaming cultist. It's not as certain, but it could work. Very well. I'll contain the Daedra as long as I can. Take a scroll of dream trapping from the rock over there, and use it on a sleeping cultist to bind him to your will. Then you can lead him back here.
Oh, it's a dream. I see.
Everything is ready, but I must be certain. When I expel this Daedra, it will be drawn into the cultist, and he will die. Are you sure you're willing to sacrifice this man? Very well. This cultist will take my place, and be infused with the Daedric spirit. We'll expel the Daedra, draw the cultist into ritual circle. After the Daedric spirit consumes its victim, it will return to Quagmire. Follow the spirit through the portal to Quagmire. Kill the Daedra there, then return. Ready? Praise Azura! You survived! The Daedra is no more. I owe my life to you. You'll still have to fight your way out. But once I'm confident no trace of the Daedra remains, Gerard and I will disperse the cultists and return to Pariah Abbey.
Moloch, grant me strength, give me glory.
Steel and Stone, welcome to the Scarp! We could use your help on the battlefield. Would you join us in the fight for glory? Good, very good. Maybe along the way you would help me make my family proud? I want to come back from battle with something to remember it by, something I can hang on the wall and tell stories about. I want a war trophy. A necklace made of ogre teeth with big, wide bands, packed with more teeth than you can count. I've got 2 sacks of them here at the camp, but I need more. The more the better. Help me, and I'll help you. You smell of ogre blood and victory, friend. You have the teeth? Aha, good work. Generations of orcs will admire what you've helped create. I've heard more good news as well. General Godrin said there's another battle coming. Bring it on, I say.
Azura, please help me. Now that's incredible. Azura sent you, didn't she? Here I am, down on my knees, begging Azura for help, and you walk up. If that's not divine intervention, I don't know what is. You are going to help me, right? What do I not need help with? We had a shrine to Azura here, but the supernal dreamers came and killed everyone, defiled the shrine, and stole our relics. I just want to get the relics back and take them to Pariah Abbey. It needs to be cleansed, but I'm only a novice. I just want to return to the Abbey with the relics. Oh, and there was another spirit warden here trying to help me. I think he was captured. Could you look for him too? Please say you'll help. I managed to escape with some relics, so there are only a few left. If you can recover them and look for the warden who was captured, you'll be answering my prayers. He did? So he knows what happened here? If all the spirit wardens in Pariah Abbey came, we could take the shrine back for good. Why haven't more wardens come? There are? As bad as what happened here? I guess I shouldn't complain then. I should just be grateful that Azura sent you to help recover the rest of the artifacts. Well, there is one. This gem. It summons a protective scamp. We're not supposed to use it, but as long as you bring it back, I suppose it can be our secret.
Well, you've done well, mortal. You return my dream shard. You vanquished Vermina's omens. And now, you've cleansed my shrine as well. But the Mistress of Nightmares has not yet released Stormhaven from her clutches, has she? Indeed, and King Emmerich has been very tolerant toward my spirit wardens. A fact I have not failed to notice. First, Vermina attacks my abbey, then she desecrates my shrine, and now this? If I didn't know better, I might think it was personal. Yes, Vermina has pushed too far this time, and she must receive her comeuppance. I will aid you, but you should know that extricating your king from her clutches will be far more difficult than it was with the others. This time, she has unleashed her own consort, Golthus, the Night Terror. He consumes King Emmerich's mind in the nightmare, blocking your entry. I will give you a dusk stone to penetrate the nightmare, but defeating Golthus will be another matter. You've proven to be talented and resourceful so far. Let this be another test of your strength. I'm sure you'll succeed in serving me faithfully once again. Go now, mortal. Go save your king. And teach Vermina to keep her hands off of what's mine.
This is familiar. I remember you from Alcaire, the Van Farm. Funny we should end up surrounded by supernal dreamers again. I was, and still am. I just allowed myself to be captured so I could listen to what the supernal dreamers were planning here. I've learned this much. It's far more serious than just a few stolen relics. There were some extremely powerful relics here, ancient conjuration boxes. It seems the supernal dreamers have learned how to activate these devices, and they plan to use them to summon terrible fiends. You can. The dreamers won't let us just waltz through their camp, and I'm not much use in a fight. Leave the other relics with me, though. You just need to find the key to the boxes somewhere in the camp and then seal them closed. I appreciate your confidence. One last thing. These conjuration boxes are inhabited by spirits. I can't predict what will happen when you close them, but it must be done. Afterwards, meet me down where Tabaka's camped out. Good luck, friend.
Nature! The world of the living has transgressed. The energy of these relics was used for darkness. The portal is closed, but something came through. It must be destroyed. My remains were poured into a box centuries ago, along with countless others. The box was used against its purpose. My spirit was brought here to see this wrong put right. What was summoned must be destroyed. A cursed creature from another realm. A Daedra. It must be slain. An enchantment hides its foul form, but this scroll of sight will reveal it. Follow the sound of falling water and use the scroll to find it.
Towers. Were you able to close the conjuration boxes in the towers? It's a good thing you were here, or I imagine they would have summoned many more. I'm going to take these relics back to Pariah Abbey. I can escort Tabaka back too. Hail! Are you going up to the ruins? Your timing is impeccable. I'm on a critical mission for the Mages Guild and I need assistance. These ruins contain a powerful relic, King Afrin's sword. With all the chaos in this region, the ogres, these cultists, the sword is not safe. You're smarter than you look. Yes, I need to bring King Afrin's sword back to Wayrest. The supernal dreamers got here first, but it's actually a good thing. Their meddling awakened the spirits of this place, who killed every last one of them. Right again. Complicating matters further, King Afrin's sword was shattered into 3 parts. Legend says it can only be reforged in King Afrin's tomb. If you're brave enough to find the pieces and get them reforged, there will be a reward. I'm actually jealous, you know. I've always wanted to see the ruins of King Afrin's hold. All the stories I've heard about the sword, the hold, the king himself. I'd go along, but I have no stomach for fighting the spirits of the dead. My research suggests the 3 parts of the sword, the blade, the hilt, and the pommel, can be found in the 3 towers within the hold. Only King Afrin's spirit can reforge the sword. You must take the pieces into the king's tomb. There are books about the subject, you know. We don't have time for a history lesson. To summarize, Afrin was a ruthless merchant king early in the First Era. He conquered many of his neighbors, quite infamous. There are no specific records of what occurred here, only vague references. King Afrin allegedly spent all his time at war. While he was away, his enemies apparently attacked Afrin's hold and killed everyone. The king himself died soon after. King Afrin's sword was sacred. He never let anyone else touch it. We don't know how it was shattered or even if it really has magical properties. It certainly sounds like it's worth studying, though. Honestly, that was a surprise. I was told it was a quiet place. I presume it was the supernal dreamers who disturbed the dead. Perhaps because they sought the sword, or perhaps they were only trespassing. Either way, they're all dead. My research suggests the three parts of the sword, the blade, the hilt, and the pommel, can be found in the three towers within the hold. Only King Afrin's spirit can reforge the sword. You must take the pieces into the king's tomb. Smart and perceptive. I suppose this could be of use to you. There should be monuments in the ruins. Hold this holy symbol and pray at any of the monuments, and it should summon a fallen hero to fight at your side. Nothing in magic is certain, but necromancy, despite its bad reputation, is generally predictable. At the same time, the dead of Afrin's hold might have more solidarity. Use at your own risk, I suppose.
Why, Father? Why did you abandon us? Why did you let us die? When they came, they took us into the courtyard. I thought you would rescue us. Where were you? That sword. You loved it more than you ever loved me.
These are sacred grounds. My sacred grounds. They are not meant for the living. Are you the one who disturbs our rest? Where did you get those? Those are mine! None may touch those save for me. That blade, that hilt, that pommel. To hold them again. Please, give them to me. Ah, yes, my precious sword. To wield it again would feel so good. I should never have shattered it. I must make it whole again. I must! Why do you have these? What did you want with them? Regret. The sword was my favorite possession. My best friend. And with it, I subjugated these lands. But in the process, I left my family unprotected. My sweet little girl was killed. I couldn't live with it. I shattered the blade in my grief. Mira? You saw my Mira? My poor sweet child. I wronged her so. I worried that her spirit would not rest. I wanted to seek her out. I have been unable to enter her tomb, though. I did. Since the day I discovered what had happened, all I wanted was to beg her forgiveness. Even more than I wanted this damn sword. Perhaps now, though, perhaps I can make amends. Perhaps I can show her how sorry I am. You can help me. You can show her. You can tell her how sorry I am. If she sees the sword, she will... Maybe she will understand. Please, I beg you, give my daughter the sword. I cannot force you. Perhaps I don't even deserve an opportunity to make amends. Take it. Whatever you do with it, just take it away from here. My daughter's tomb is just down the corridor. Just... please consider it.
I should curse you, mortal, for disturbing our rest. But my spirit has never been at peace. I've walked these ruins for centuries, cursing the king's name. My father in name, but never in action. He left me here to die. Actions speak louder than words. My father was always quick to make promises, but in the end, when it mattered, he was away at war when I needed him most. An apology can't change that. His sword? His most prized possession? His most sacred treasure? He never even let anyone touch it. Is this how he hopes to find redemption? Give it to me. I would like nothing more than to destroy it. Thank you. His connection to the sword is so strong, I can sense his energy. I remember there was a time when I was a little girl and he made me feel safe. I could at least speak to him, I suppose.
I would give it all, Mira. The sword, the keep, the kingdom. All of it.
I forgive you, Father.
My sword is again broken, but this time for good, and for good purpose. She has forgiven me. You have healed a wound that was centuries old. Even the greatest empire is a desolate domain without the ones you love. I never learned that lesson in life, but I hope you have. May the Eight be with you, young traveler. Praise the Eight! I know. The signal fire is out. There's nothing I can do, though. I had just stepped outside to relieve myself, and all these slavers came out of nowhere. How was I to stop them? I'm a lighthouse keeper, not a soldier. Slavers stormed the lighthouse and put out the signal fire. I couldn't figure out why. Then I realized it's a trap. They wait for ships to crash on the rocks so they can loot the cargo and capture the crew. One ship already crashed. And we need to do it fast. Problem is, the slavers took the focusing crystals and all my oil. Some of it is still on the island, but they also put some on their ship. I don't think the slavers knew what to do with the focusing crystals. Those may be close by. But the oil, they probably took that on board their ship. If you can recover the supplies, I'll be ready to relight the fire. Godspeed to you, my friend. When the slavers first stormed the lighthouse, I swam over to the beach and ran into the woods. Later, I saw the signal fire was out, so I snuck back. I've been hiding here ever since.
Of all the slavers on all the seas, it had to be Captain Ongerthal. Fires of oblivion! These motherless slavers have captured my entire crew! I'm not one to shy away from a fight, but I think I may be in over my head. Captain Ongerthal, the fobbing dog. Crewless slaver in the Azurian Sea, and now in Iliac Bay. He must have put out the signal fire in the lighthouse. It was pitch black. We hit the rocks and the slavers were all over us. Captured the entire crew. The slavers took most of the crew up the beach, but Salak, Leidenar, and Ozor are still there. Other captives too, but they're no concern of mine. I'm too waterlogged to fight, but if you'll free my men, I'll make it worth your while. Watch out for Captain Ongerthal. His axes are stained with the blood of more sailors than I can count. He's a monster. Hey though, if you're feeling tough, I say take that bastard out. Won't hear any complaints from me. I don't know for sure, but I overheard something about the slavers taking over a village up the beach. I'm betting they took the rest of the crew there. If there's a silver lining to that cloud, it's that they're out of Captain Ongerthal's reach. Never met the man myself, but his name's well known in these waters. Ongerthal's notorious for terrorizing the Abetian Sea, enslaving the Altmer. Guess he joined up with this outfit after the Ebonheart Pact was formed.
You'll fetch a pretty penny in Balmora.
sail again. Thank you.
Ozor, Salak, and Leidenar are free, and Captain Angerthal is dead. I believe this day is getting better. I may have lost my ship, but you've restored my hope. They were marched off to the east. My first mate went after them, but I can't imagine she'll be able to free them alone. If you travel in that direction, keep an eye out for her. If she doesn't return soon, I may just have to track her down myself.
There's a sight for sore eyes, and surely a guiding light for any ships coming into port. You saved the lives of a lot of sailors. I'm just hoping there was only one ship that crashed on the rocks. I could lose my job over this. If anyone asks, I hope you'll tell them it wasn't my fault.
Here comes that
Now
stroke
we're
of
in
luck I was
business.
counting on.
This is the one I was talking about, Elvira.
I was starting to doubt Captain's story, and you come sauntering up like some hero from the stories. It's perfect. That nasty slaving outfit you embarrassed at the lighthouse. They took over this village, and they've got the rest of our crew. We're their only hope. But I have a simple plan. Fun, too. The Dark Elves outnumber us by a little. Actually, a lot. So first, you should create a diversion by setting fire to their tents and the stolen goods on the dock. Well, my sailors are locked up in a cave behind the town, but the slavers' leader, Majad Ka, keeps the key in a house he's commandeered. So you'll need to steal the key first, then go down and free the guys. Guess it's not that simple, is it? Well, the last thing I want is for you to go running in there unprepared. Might end up getting jumped by Majad Ka and get locked up with everyone else. The main thing is just to light the fires, though. Is that what you wanted to ask about? You're not thinking about taking him on, are you? That's one crazy Khajiit. He was actually a slave himself, but turned on his masters and took over. Killed his competition and became some kind of slaver king. Trust me, light the fire, distract him. Improvise. Pull a burning log from their campfire. Then light him up. The tents and all those stolen goods out there on the dock. Hopefully that'll distract Majad Ka.
You saved my life.
I thought I was going to die here.
Thank you. It was Majad Ka. He saw me trying to escape. I thought he had me, but then Elvira stepped in. That girl's got sand, but she's no match for Majad Ka. He dragged her off toward the beach. You have to help her. He got me, but it's not bad. Just need to get my bearings and I'll be fine. Go after Elvira. I couldn't live with myself if that monster Majad Ka killed her.
I said this would be fun. Let's get out of here, come on! That almost wasn't as fun as I expected it to be. Thank you for coming after me. Regardless, I owe you one. That was something, wasn't it? The fires, the slavers running everywhere, getting all the guys free. Quite an adventure. Hope I see you again, friend.
The Midnight Union has taken over Farangel's Landing. They're holding my wife for ransom, but I can't pay it. I went to Wayrest to buy a gift for my love, Miranda. When I returned, the estate was overrun. They're holding her for ransom. It's my wife's family that has money, not me. If I can't bargain from a position of strength, they'll kill her. I need a carrot to tempt them and a stick to threaten them. You seem fearless. See if you can collect some jewels hidden in the houses and puffball caps from a crate on the docks. Once you've got all that, meet me near the boathouse. Search the houses for jewels and collect puffball caps from the dock. Then meet me near the boathouse. You could steal clothes from a dead bandit and disguise yourself. Miranda's the heir to the Farangel estate. Technically, this all belongs to her. When Miranda and I met, it was love at first sight. I knew we were made for each other. I'll use the puffball caps to mix a sleep potion. That should put most of their guards out of commission. If the potion doesn't work, we can use the jewels to pay her ransom. Word is, the Midnight Union just pulled off a jewel heist. We can use their stolen gems to pay the ransom. Check inside a couple of the nearby houses. I've heard they hide their loot by dispersing it that way. I can use puffball caps to make a sleep potion. Alchemy's a hobby of mine. That's why I have a crate of exotic fungus waiting for me on the dock. Great work. Now we have jewels for the ransom and puffball caps for the sleep potion. It's time to execute my plan. They'll never release Miranda alive unless we have leverage on them. Excellent. I'll hold on to the jewels in case the potion doesn't work. We might have to pay the ransom. Now here's a reward. There's more where that came from, if you'll help with the rest of my plan. I've created a sleep potion using the puffball caps. Take it and pour some into each of the drinking kegs around the estate. Put enough of those kidnappers to sleep and we'll have some real leverage to bargain. The smuggler bosses are in the counting house back of the docks. After you've doped the barrels, search the counting house for clues as to where Miranda's being held. With luck, we might be able to rescue Miranda without a fight.
I'm Lady Miranda Stewart. Who are you? And what do you want here? But Lady Miranda's not a captive of the Midnight Union. They're her bodyguards. She hired them to protect her from Lord Serge, her husband. He threatened to kill her if she didn't give him her family treasure. Probably, but she's still protected by the Midnight Union. Puffball caps! Oh, you fool! That's not a sleep potion. It's poison! Now no one's guarding Miranda. Lord Serge will probably poison her too. You'll need an antidote. And so will I, since I drank from the kegs. This vervain should do it. I ordered the Lord's alchemy supplies for him. A crate of dried vervain was just unloaded on the East Beach. Lady Miranda's in the manor house. Use this key to get inside. And please, hurry.
Witless buffoon. You fell for my plan. Now the estate will be mine.
Whoever you are, please help me. Whatever your motives, if not for you, I would never have survived. I owe you my life. Please, accept this reward. To think that Serge's plan almost worked. Without you, I won't forget what you've done. It was Serge. It was all Serge. It was like he was two different people. Generous, loving Serge, and greedy, hateful Serge. Only I think the hateful one was the real man. He didn't want me. He only wanted my family's wealth.
Goblins! Goblins must pay! You look pretty dangerous. Consider yourself drafted. There are goblins here that need killing. Because the goblins killed my men. All of them. That's why the goblins have to pay. I want their heads. While you're at it, burn their territory markers too. The watch will never be theirs, not as long as I draw breath. Yes, you have a hearing problem. Territory markers. They use them to mark their territory. The goblins set them up at the North Tower, the South Tower, and the Eastern Gate. I'll stay and keep this gate secure. Well, get on with it! Ah, they're like locusts. Every once in a while they just swarm. But this is worse than usual. It's the first time they've breached the gates. Not sure. Don't know. But after this, we should finish them for good. Wipe out the whole tribe, that's what I say. Ah, the smell of fresh goblin blood is like perfume to me. I knew I could count on you. Well done. And thanks for all the help. The commander here would like to have a word with you.
Of all the bone-headed stunts. Well, at least now we know what brought the Stone Chewer goblins down on us. Captain Rama here stole one of the Stone Chewer's tribal totems and raised it on our tower as a challenge. They're honor-bound to recover it, along with killing whoever took it. That totem needs to come down, and quick. I ought to send Rama, but it's probably smarter to keep him here under arrest. My troops are stretched thin. Can you run up and take down the totem? Bring it back here to me. Captain Rama deliberately stole the totem to provoke the Stone Chewers. As long as that totem remains on the tower, we'll never be rid of those goblins. He hates goblins. I mean, we all hate goblins, but he really hates them. I've asked why, but he won't say. Should have listened to my instincts and sent him to another post. Not without getting that totem out of here. They can smell it or something. Even then, we'll need reinforcements to take back the watch. I sent a request to Captain Ernard, but if he doesn't arrive soon, we'll just have to withdraw.
They're going to find me and kill me! You've got to help me. Those goblins will eat me. The watch soldiers threw me in here just before the goblins attacked. You've got to help me. The soldier that locked me up headed towards the stables and took the key with him. Find him before the goblins find me. Hurry! Find the key! One of those dead soldiers might have it. Did you check them? It was all a mistake. I meant to pay for that chainmail. I really did. The silvered sword, too. I was just trying it out before making them an offer. Honest. I'm a legitimate businessman. Find a key. There must be one around here somewhere. Thank Kinnereth. I thought I'd get eaten by a goblin for sure. They debone you, then carve your thigh bones into flutes. It's true, I swear. I'm getting out of here.
I'm back with reinforcements, but I was too late to save the commander. Daedra, take it. Before he died, he said he'd sent you on a mission. I hope you succeeded. Now, you've got to return that totem to the Stone Chewers. The Goblin camp is to the west, but I'm not sure where the totem belongs. If I were you, I'd ask that crazy scholar who lives near the camp, Nellic Starone. That's his name.
So many tribes gone from High Rock. The rat farmers, the throat cutters, even the famous disembowelers. The stone chewers are really the last of the breed. Indeed. Look how busy they are. Carving femur flutes, skinning Durzog puppies, disciplining their females. So misunderstood. Like us, yet unlike. The goblins live in a world apart, one I may never enter. I can only dream. Search the caves. The totem needs to be restored to the goblin's shrine. If a shaman sees you, expect some kind of trouble. One of them knows a shape-changing spell, and he's got a wicked sense of humor.
Is it done? Has the totem been returned to the goblins? Well done! You accomplished what we couldn't. Cumberland's watch is in your debt. We'll drive out the remaining goblins, but while we're doing that, Rama's just going to be getting farther away. Captain Rama has fled Cumberland's watch. His comrade's blood is on his hands. He must be brought to justice for his crimes. One of my scouts saw Rama's cousin Harimal in the woods north of the watch. Rama and his cousin are tight. I'll bet he knows where Rama has fled to.
Hello, stranger. If you're hungry, I've got extra. Rama's holed up in that cave over there. You don't want to tangle with him. He's meaner than a nest of vipers. He traded swords with me because his had lost its edge. If I were you, I'd just take this sword back to Watch Captain Ernard and say you killed him.
Die, goblin.
Help us bring Rama to justice. He's responsible for this slaughter. I don't rejoice at this news. Rama was a fine officer once. At least it is over. Thank you.
The world is dark. My sweet wife is dead. My wife, Breloth, is dead. Mara, take her soul. She was the only good thing I ever knew in this world, and now I can't even give her a decent burial. You would do that? I wanted to be perfect. Breloth, she had such exquisite taste. My father said she was high upkeep, but I loved the way she just knew what she liked. She would have wanted her funeral to be special. She was a wood elf. She loved nature, flowers. If you could get some fallen blossoms to put in her hair, and her favorite meal, mud crab and the Wayside Inn's house wine, you'd actually get these for us? You coming along was such a blessing. Truly, the Eight sent you. This will mean so much to Breloth, so much. What's there to say? She was my sun, my moon, my stars. I was never one to really appreciate nature until I met her. I guess that's one of the benefits of having a Bosmer wife. Natural causes. She just woke up one morning and she was dead. She always said, "We aren't young saplings anymore." She was right. I thought I'd go first, though, her being a wood elf and all. Oh, that was a long time ago now. But they didn't much care for it. My mother never spoke to me again, and my father never let a day go by without expressing his disapproval. The townsfolk were slow to accept her, but over the years they did. Well, they're not just rumors, of course. The Bosmer do eat people. She didn't have a taste for it, though. It's part of how she ended up here. So I guess I'm grateful for that practice. We always joked about it, too.
Welcome to the Wayside Inn. Whether it's cold beer or fine wine you prefer, we have it all. Ah, a connoisseur then. Always happy to show off what this region has to offer. I hope you enjoy it. Please, anyone. The Countess needs help. You've got to help me. I mean, us. I mean the whole town. The Countess has gone crazy, and everyone's fighting about who should be in charge. She's the only one who can run this place. We need to help her. I don't know, and if anyone would know, it would be me. I'm her manservant. The other day, she called all the servants up and dismissed us. Since then, she's been shut up in the house, refusing to leave. The whole town's talking about it. No, the Count died years ago, and she's been in charge ever since. Of course, every eligible man in Stormhaven has come calling, trying to court her, but she doesn't like them. Or hasn't married, at least. Please, can you just talk to her? I can't thank you enough. So many people in town just want to write her off. They're less worried about her welfare than they are about who should take authority of Windkeep. Ha, everyone asks that. King Afrin conquered Windkeep and renamed it Afrin's Hold, just to the south. The town kept the old name. It's a small place, but we do a fair amount of trade. The Countess is wealthier than most of her suitors. I wouldn't go near that place if I were you. They say it's haunted. Some other people came by asking about it recently. Haven't seen them since. So like I said, I wouldn't go there. I don't know. They were all wearing the same types of clothes. Looked like some kind of Daedric cultists. All the more reason to stay away from Afrin's Hold, if you ask me. Yeah. The Countess has at least 5 different men who've been courting her. Not common folk like you and me, either. We're talking noblemen. People with lots of gold to throw around. They buy her some pretty fancy gifts.
The lines on my face tell a sad story. The tale of a woman whose youth was stolen by circumstance. I was widowed even before I flowered. I did what I thought was right. I assumed the burden of leadership, but I paid for that choice. I paid dearly. Of course, Matthias is such a sweet boy, and he served me well. It's a pity that I no longer have need of his service. I've been so false, so empty. I have no right to be a countess. I can see that now in my reflection. Windkeep needs a real leader, not a little girl masquerading as a woman of authority. Don't you see how hollow I am? I'm a shell of a person. Just look in the mirror.
This mirror is not for your eyes. Look away. Go away. You look into the mirror, seeking answers. But there are no answers here for you. I am here for the Countess, and the Countess alone. You would be wise to be on your way. I have taken the Countess away, but it was with no animosity. The Countess you see before you is the reflection. The true Countess is in the mirror, and that is where she will stay. I will not. The mirror is the gift to her, but she is the gift to me. If you wish to release her, you'll have to pass through to the other side, into my domain. You shall find a warm welcome there.
An enchanted saddle warmer? You're too generous, Sir Bryce. I don't go riding often these days, but I do appreciate the gesture.
So, does that mean you will consider my request for your hand?
You make it hard to resist your advances, but I don't want to rush into anything.
Perhaps you should tell him the truth, Elise. That you and I plan to sell the estate and elope to Somerset Isle.
Indeed I would, Urelin, if that were truly the case. I'm afraid you gentlemen will have to excuse me now. Do you see? Do you see what I've become? Look at the reflection! I'm old, I'm fat, and sometimes Argonian. No one will ever admire me again. It's not? Are you sure? I don't want to go back to a world where I'm reviled. Where is Matthias? Why hasn't anyone come to help me? I remember being upstairs and I heard a voice at the door. A man's voice. A few minutes later, Matthias brought up the mirror. When I looked, I recall feeling dizzy, and then I was here. Matthias didn't do this, did he? He did? How do you know Matthias? Never mind. Can you take me to him? Can we leave this terrible place? Whoever you are, I'm going to make sure you're well rewarded for this. Well, that was an adventure now, wasn't it? I'm fortunate that you came along. You certainly have my thanks. Where is Matthias? Where are the other servants? I did? That's worse than I thought, then. I had absolutely no control over myself whatsoever. Or was that even me? I'm sorry, I'm not used to being compromised like this. But that only doubles my debt to you. My first order of business now will be to shatter that mirror into 1,000,000 pieces. Next, and possibly even more important, I need to find out which of my suitors gave me the accursed thing. Greed. Plain and simple. Since the day my husband died, there's been a line of suitors, each with a more extravagant gift than the last. They want to buy me and my title. I certainly have. Why should I share my land, my bed, with such fobbing louts? Now one of my suitors apparently seeks to take me out of the picture. Matthias will know which suitor dropped off the mirror. Would you help me investigate this? If you don't mind, please apologize to Matthias for me as well. Tell him I would have him and all the other servants return if they're willing. No more suitors, though. I'm done pretending. I have no intention of marrying again. Certainly not now. No, they're all equally shallow and untrustworthy. Sir Bryce and the Altmer Eurelian are the worst. It was probably one of those who gave me the mirror. Sir Bryce is a man of honor, a knight of the flame with what he claims is a passion to match. The poor man. Bryce believes his own falsehoods. He says he loves me, but if I were clothed in rags, I'd be invisible to him. He claims he was drawn across the leagues by my beauty, but the truth is that Eurelian is the disinherited son of some wealthy mage. Rather than a talent for magic, though, Eurelian has a talent for spending. He would have me be his bank. Oh, I'm sure that several of my suitors will have already suggested they take custody of the estate. Both Eurelian and Sir Bryce are likely trying to rally support so they can petition the king.
No, this can't be happening. Not Matthias. He wouldn't have stomped on a diseased rat, let alone hurt a person. We were just standing here talking. He said you went in to talk to the Countess, so we were waiting. Then all of a sudden an arrow flew out of nowhere right into his chest. He was dead before he hit the ground. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with what happened to the Countess. Did you talk to her? What did she say? Is she all right? The mirror? Is that what was wrong with her? Oh goodness, Matthias would have known. I don't really know the suitors. Maybe it was Sir Bryce, or that Altmer Eurelian. Probably the Altmer. He's shady. I'd check him first. I think he's from some rich family in the Aldmeri Dominion. All I've ever heard him talk about is gold. He even described the Countess's hair as strings of gold. Sir Bryce is really respectable. I don't know why the Countess isn't more receptive to him. He's a Knight of the Flame and everything. I think he would make a good husband. Of course, he's never even noticed me.
This blacksmith makes quite a bit of gold. I wonder how much he pays in taxes to the Countess. You mean, if I were the Count? I hoped for something like that, but my days of courting the Countess have come to an end. I've no gold left for gifts. Haven't been able to give her anything for weeks. She's already forgotten me. No, I'm afraid not. I couldn't afford to give her a flower. So it was a mirror that finally won her over. Maybe Sir Bryce or Rowleen Mounier was the lucky one. There is someone who would know for sure, but I'm sworn to secrecy. I suppose he's an honorable sort. He certainly carries himself that way. If I was to choose the suitor to whom I had lost the Countess's hand, it would be him. I could at least understand her wanting to marry a knight. I know of him, but I don't consort with members of the working class. I certainly hope he wasn't the one to win the Countess's hand. I would be humiliated to be upstaged by someone of low birth. I suppose I'd be a fool to turn down such an opportunity. Very well, there's a young woman named Elaine who's obsessed with the Countess. What some might call a stalker. She'll know who presented the mirror. She's the one to ask.
Oh, it's you. I saw you leaving the Countess's house earlier. I don't mean to intrude, but I simply have to ask. Are you yet another suitor come to seek her hand in marriage? Oh, well then, I suppose you're an old friend of the Countess's. I don't want to pry, of course, but, well, I am curious. What exactly is your relationship with her? The mirror? Matthias could have told you. Oh, but he was killed, wasn't he? Well, I don't mind telling you. It was actually a new suitor, but a strong contender. Tall, dark, handsome, very dignified. I heard his footman call him Syrian. Well, I mean, I was curious, so yes, I followed him. He hiked up into the woods north of town. Kind of peculiar, honestly. So, can you tell me what this is all about? I'm dying to know. Cursed? Mara's mercy! That's terrible! I guess you're going after Syrian, then. Is the Countess all right? Never mind. You have work to do. Go on. This is getting good. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, praise the aid, it's you. Quick, untie me. The Countess was so sad about Matthias. She sent me to get flowers for his funeral. But on the way, one of these crazy cultists snuck up and just grabbed me. He dragged me back here and they asked me all these questions. This whole thing, the mirror, it wasn't the suitors. These cultists wanted to get rid of the Countess so they can take over the town. They forced me to talk. I think they're planning to kill the Countess at the funeral. You have to go stop them.
Have you come to pay your respects? That's very kind of you. Matthias was such... He was good to me. Better than I deserved, I think. In danger? Is it one of those pathetic suitors? Are they really that determined to have me out of the way? Oh no. That must be them. Please, you have to protect me.
must maintain the purity of the Daggerfall covenant. Raymond got what he deserved.
Looks clear now. Oh, meet me back at the manse. It seems you wound up saving me twice. I wish I knew a proper way to express my level of gratitude. Whoever these supernal dreamers are, they are cunning and clearly willing to go to great lengths to achieve their goals. I'm happy to be alive, and I'm also glad to know you stopped them cold. This has all been such an ordeal. I feel like there's so much to do now that it's over. Well, I want to go back to the graveyard and pay proper respects to my poor, sweet Matthias. And I suppose I must say something to my suitors. Speaking of which, I'm sorry you had to talk to them before. I know that must have been painful. I think it's probably best if I just stop pretending. I have no intention of marrying again, and I should stop playing these games. You helped me realize that.
Did you get everything? The blossoms, the mudcrab claws? Did you forget the wine? Oh, Preloff, my love. Do you see what we have for you? She would have loved this. Flowers, wine, food. Everything will be perfect.